It's a good news.
We can actually hear you much clearer this time.
I know. I was trying to tell you before, like when I did it with Ray on Skype, you could hear me. We could hear each other perfectly.
You know what? I've been using Skype for 5 years on every MMA interview and everything. But after getting this laptop, man, Skype hasn't been working for me. And tonight I found out you can use Skype off of Internet Explorer or Chrome.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live right now. And I was just telling everybody. So guess what? Ray got 9 out of 12 right.
I got 11 out of 11, and I got the bonus one wrong.
Oh, the bonus one is crazy, right?
And of course, I heard him say, "Oh, you could be using the internet." Motherfucker, I didn't use the internet. I was in the chat the whole time.
Well, this is why I wanted to have people call in on the video for the MMA trivia, because you never know.
So you can't cheat. Yeah.
Well, here's the issue with it. We had, I love this guy. Eddie Mercado of Bloody Elbow came on the show about 2015, I want to say. And we were all sitting there, we had him on video, and it looked like when we were asking him questions, he was typing it up, and I called him out. I was like, Eddie, what are you doing there, bro? He did it a couple times. He was like, oh, no. So if you guys want to go back and rewatch that, it's pretty funny.
I'm gonna call Darsh Smokes out, though.
Yeah, what would you say?
I think on the bonus question, his computer screen lit up real bright. I think he looked up the bonus question. Because you know why I think he looked it up? Because I got it wrong. And if I got it wrong, no way he can get it right.
I mean, it's such a staple in the MMA scene for cringe.
How the hell was he saying Joe Lozon for the most finishes? They've only talked about Cowboy having the most finishes for like the last month now that the fight's been announced.
Well, Joe has the most fight bonuses, I believe, or he's up there with the most. He's in third.
He was up there. Yeah, he was up there, and then Nate Diaz kind of passed him, and then Cowboy passed all of them.
Yeah, how crazy is
that? Cowboy has the most finishes, the most head kick finishes. He broke the record for the most wins when he submitted Mike Perry at UFC Denver.
Oh, yeah, genius Mike Perry going for the takedown there, huh?
Yeah, fucking what a moron, man. That was like that was like some Daniel Tamer fight IQ right there, but yeah.
Daniel or David? The little one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, isn't that Daniel Tamer, the dumb one? The one that just fought
Daniel's
Chase Hooper?
The younger one, yeah, where he was winning the beginning of the round and then faded away.
Yeah.
But his brother's pretty funny too, though, where he comes, you bring a change of underwears. Yeah.
David Tamer is good, man.
They're both great at Muay Thai. They're great at Muay Thai.
Yeah. David Tamer's a beast, man. I mean, his last fight he lost to Du Bronx, but I don't know where he's been since.
So let's jump into a couple of the topics that we got here, Donnie. First thing I want to say, before we called you, I was talking about Reebok and just what a disappointment it's been. You know, if Reebok released a new shoe, do you think they wouldn't display it in their store? They don't display any fight kits at the Reebok.
Yeah, I know we've talked about that before. Like if you were to go to the mall and go to the Reebok store, you would never see one of the fight kits in there.
It breaks my heart, man.
It's stupid, man.
Because it breaks my heart because these fighters are losing money.
Man. And then not only that, you can actually go on eBay and find them like a lot cheaper. Like if you go on the UFC store, they're like, I don't know, maybe $100 or something. Because me and a friend on Twitter, we have a bet going, and he has Joanna Young Jacek, and I have Wiley Zhang in their title fight. And if he wins, then I have to buy him a
fight kit?
Reebok fight kit. Oh. And if I win, he has to buy me a UFC fight kit or Reebok fight kit. And so I was looking up the one he wanted, and I was like, all right, yeah, no problem. I was like, whatever. And then he's like, no, man, go to like eBay or something like that. And then he's like, well, I have the money. I'm going to buy yours just in case you win. And so he bought mine for like $35 on eBay.
Well, you know what? Oh, wow. That's like a 75% change in price right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so.
That is actually crazy. And you know what? Some people might be like, oh, just buy it off Reebok, you're supporting the fighter. Well, somebody already did pay the money off Reebok to support the fighter. They're just giving it as a hand-me-down now. Yeah.
Exactly. Somebody originally bought it from the source. So
Well, you know what, Donnie? I just want to say, we got our own merch store, and things are not priced like that, and they're good quality. We got
dude,
hats, snapbacks,
wait,
sweaters, all that good stuff. Even shirts as low as $15. But let me show everybody, Donnie. You saw the photo of Conor McGregor's drawing, and the first thing that you said was,
wait.
"Oh, is this a troll? Like, is this is real or?" Because this is pathetic. Now, let me show the people tuning in the video cast. If you are listening to this on the podcast on Megaphone, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you're tuning in, I'm going to tweet it out right now for everybody.
It looks like it's like a cartoon.
It's a horrible. It looks like Conor has been smoking meth and avoiding the sun for 6 months.
Well, then it's accurate.
That's what somebody said. Now, when I said that on Twitter, somebody responded with that, and I said, you know what? You're right, because when he was doing that season Ultimate Fighter, season 22, there were photos that some girl took after the season wrapped up where they had a fight party. And Conor, there's an infamous photo of him looking real strung out. I know he's going through the weight cut for 145 pounds.
Isn't that when like the girl asked him something like, and he said something like,
Put the camera away or
talking
something.
or he talked something about his girlfriend, and she said, "Oh, you have a girlfriend?" or something like that. It was like he was fucked up, and he was like, "Oh, my girlfriend, this or something." And the one girl he was talking to was like, "Oh, you have a girlfriend?" And like he was so fucked up, dude. But go back and watch his recent interview with his own little his own network, Mac Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was asked, he's like, "All right, I know you," or something like, I think something was to the effect of, "What about Justin Gaethje?" And Conor's face changed, and he said, "Oh, he's on the list. Yeah, he's on the list." Tell me that wasn't cocaine lockjaw when he said that.
There's a lot of videos break down some of his, press conferences and him just being really tweaky, his jaw going left and right, and just how tweaky he is.
When he said he's on the list, yeah, he's on the list. I'm telling you, man, he had like,
What is it? Let me look it up for everybody. What is it? Conor McGregor. It's on the Mac Life?
yeah, just type up, yeah, it's his recent interview, his last interview. Just type in Conor McGregor interview.
Interview Justin Gaethje.
Or Conor UFC 246 interview, or something like that.
UFC 246. All right, let's see what comes up here, because I want to play it for everybody to see what it sounds like. 4 days ago, is that right? About 4 days ago?
Yeah, as soon as he said it, yeah, it was January 3rd, I believe. So, anyways, as soon as he said it, it was like the facial feature when he said.
Oh, here it is. I got it. It's a 9-minute video, but I found one with just him talking about Justin.
Maybe it was 5 minutes in. I think it was like 5 minutes and something in. If you have
Let me know if this sounds right, Donnie. Ready?
Yeah. The first thing he says is he's on the list. Yeah, he's on the list. I might fight him next.
All right, let's see. Load, motherfucker.
That was like his
picture for
his,
world
that was
title.
like that was like his exact response. He was like, "Yeah, he's on the list. He's on the list. I might fight him next."
Well, because that's a fight me and you spoke about. That's a fight I didn't want to see him take. Even Cowboy. I feel a little bit safer with Cowboy, but
I personally wanted to see him fight Justin Gaethje because it seems like if you actually go back and look, Conor McGregor was ranked number 3 and Justin Gaethje was ranked number 4. And I think since this fight was announced, Conor's dropped to number 4 and Justin Gaethje's moved up to number 3.
It should be that way if he hasn't fought, you know?
Yeah, and technically, well, you know, unless you listen to Dana White fighting at 155, but they're just not cutting weight. I mean, Darren Till fought at middleweight and got taken out of the rankings. Got taken out of the welterweight rankings. I think when Nate Diaz fought at 170, he got taken out of the 155 rankings, but I mean, he was.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then I want to say Anthony Pettis was taken out of the lightweight rankings once he beat Wonder Boy, but I could be wrong about that. But,
I feel like I remember that too.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think Pettis was taken out of the 155 rankings when he beat Wonder Boy. I know he was in the top 10 of welterweight once he beat.
Now that's not playing for some reason, Donnie, but there were rumors that he was talking about Jorge Masvidal as well. So, we got to wait to see what happens. But
he tried to deflect that a bit though, because he was like, I didn't come up to 170 to fight Jorge Masvidal, and he was like, I'm in it for the gold and the silver. That BMF belt is silver. That's an ugly belt or some shit. That's not a very good looking belt. So I'm really about the gold. So it was almost like he was deflecting that he wanted. I think he really wanted Nate, because he actually talked shit about George Masvidal's
it's got to
win.
happen at some point. Yeah.
But he talked shit about George Masvidal's win over Nate Diaz. He basically said that it was an unfinished bout and that the fight was just getting going. I'm like, come on, man. Because I really think Conor obviously wanted Nate Diaz to win because.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
I mean, their trilogy is going to be big regardless. But what if their trilogy was for the BMF belt? So I really think he wanted Nate.
So you're saying it's about 5 minutes in, because I do want to see it. So here, let's see.
Yeah, I think when I told someone, I think I said it was 5 minutes in when he was asked about.
Let's see.
When he was asked about.
Oh, here it is. I got it, Donnie.
On yourself. Do titles still motivate you? Do you still want to make?
Course.
Yeah, is that what you're looking for?
Of course, yes, most certainly. Gold, and I'd say silverware, because that bad motherfucker belt is a silver one. It's not the best looking belt, right? Well, I don't really care about that, to be honest. I want the gold. I'm after the gold. 155, 170, and they're the belts I am chasing now.
I know you don't want to talk about opponents and names so much, but I will say one last one is Justin Gaethje. Recently, you even tweeted Lola Gaethje.
Yeah.
He's been very vocal about how this idea of
he's on the list.
Yeah,
he is on the list.
Look at his face there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it almost seems like he's just a little annoyed with the question, because he's like, yeah. But I understand why people are.
But it was funny though. Did you see right there where I said he was kind of deflecting away from George Masvidal when he said that he really didn't like the BMF belt, and that it's not why he came to 170.
I'm after the gold. You get away from me, Lucky Charms. I'm after the gold. Yeah. Where's my gold coin?
I went to Putty Gold.
Yeah, you want to see? You remember? Remember the Leprechaun where he breaks? Did you see the newest Leprechaun where he breaks through the original character's stomach at the beginning? Because he swallows the coin.
Yeah, which one was it where the pot of gold grows in their stomach?
No, that's the very latest one where they brought back the original guy who was like a little slow.
Gotcha. It's been so damn long. But I remember.
And that guy actually is from the Pee Wee Herman movies, where he thinks he stole his bike.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you guys remember that, but that's a
Dude,
good one.
My bike?
But getting back to this, the whole McGregor cartoon thing. Honestly, who is the artist that made that? I can think of so many artists out there on Twitter, like Boss Logic. If a Boss Logic shirt was released on Reebok, people would go crazy. And we saw this.
I think the same thing when I think
posters?
about the UFC posters. Exactly, man. They're posters.
I was about to say that, Donnie. Like, we saw so many fans saying, and media members saying, UFC, you're doing this copy and paste promo picture. You have all these amazing artists. Why don't you pay them? Pay these guys. They didn't pay those guys.
In a multi-billion-dollar company.
But you know what they did? They didn't pay those guys. They took some ideas. They kind of cheated off of it. There was like a Grand Theft Auto theme that they stole from one of the fighters.
Yeah, they stole that shit. Exactly.
It's just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. They're out for themselves. They're out for the
I know,
lows.
like if anyone posts like a video on Twitter or Instagram, they get all these accounts striked in their.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, they get their accounts taken down when really you're promoting the company. You know what I'm saying? You're promoting the fighters and things like that. And even Jackson Wink, for example. Jackson Wink has a bunch of named fighters like John Jones and Holly Holm, and if they want to post any of their content, like any of their own fighters to promote their own fighters on their Instagram, apparently Jackson Wink's Instagram got taken down and they lost all their followers.
They got it back though, right? It happened to Robin Black too, as well. A year or two ago.
Yeah, because Rob Black was doing those 1 minute breakdowns when he was doing those 1 minute breakdowns of fights.
Yeah,
and he got in trouble. But yeah, it's crazy, man. And then they go with it. But the thing is, it's like they have the lawyers and the money. Like they'll go into a.
Yeah, you don't want to go to war with them. They're gonna make you bankrupt.
Look what they're doing to Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt did that. Mark Hunt had that lawsuit when from when he fought at UFC 200
against
against
Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Used
Brock
all the
Lesnar
money
was all,
basically that he won. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. Now they're suing Mark Hunt for like $350,000 in lawyer fees and shit.
Wow.
So that's crazy, man. Why don't they just let it be, you know? But they're petty
Mark
like
Hunt was
that.
never my friend. Mark Hunt was never
Right?
my friend. Now,
I
Donnie,
know.
I also want to talk about that. I'm glad that you brought that up because I think it really is kind of bullshit that that stuff goes around. Because for me, we lost around close to like 10,000 followers on our Instagram, and combined with our Facebook, we're looking at like 15,000 followers that we lost combined, and that's big because everyone this day and age knows that's your business. That's your baby. You're working hard every day. Every post you're putting thought into, every picture, every aspect of it. And it's just ripped away from you because you're promoting the company. You're helping fighters. It makes no sense.
It's bullshit, man.
And at the
and
same
thing is,
time,
you can't fight them.
we do more promotion for the company than ESPN or Fox Sports, which was at the time. Fox Sports didn't even have commercials for it. People didn't even know there were upcoming events.
No, they be playing shit at like 2 a.m. while people are sleeping. And I mean, just look at the promotion for this upcoming fight for UFC 246. It's been shit. Really, it ain't really been nothing.
Well, you see what they've been doing. They're doing the
Huh?
Ronda Rousey curse. The Ronda Rousey curse is back in effect where the Ronda Rousey fight against Amanda Nunes,
Yeah, that's where she
they
wanted to know.
didn't show Amanda. And now the new promo where they're singing Eminem. What song is it that they're doing? Without Me. Because it
Yeah.
feels so empty without me. Need a little controversy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of perfect song, but there's no mention of Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like walking out to an Eminem song. They're cursing Conor.
Yeah, I know, right? That fight is so damn intriguing, though, because I just want to know. Like, to me, it all comes down to Cowboy's game plan. Like, Cowboy has not ever been able to win the big fights. I mean, I'm a big Cowboy fan, but
Talk
that's
about
like,
it, Donnie. Bring us
No.
through this. I'm going to give you the mic for 2 minutes. Bring the listeners through what's going through your head for this, your predictions, how you see this going down. And because we know that you did really well with your predictions last year, and we'll talk about that a little later on the show. But bring listeners through this as a little glimpse to what's going on in your mind for UFC 246 main event.
all right, well, the main thing is, what is going to be Cowboy's approach? Like, is he actually going to try? I mean, I know Conor McGregor has better takedown defense than people give him credit for, but that is something that Cowboy can, at least he can at least try to shoot in and put something in Conor's mind. My biggest thing is that, like, is it going to be the plotting Conor, or is it going to be the Conor McGregor that's light on his feet? What is Cowboy's game plan going to be? Like, to me, if Cowboy comes out and throws just one right hand, he's going to get knocked out or knocked. I mean, and that's another thing. What if Conor knocks him down like the second Nate Diaz fight? Obviously, I don't think Cowboy can take as much punishment as Nate Diaz, nowhere near close. But what if he knocks Nate Diaz down, or what if he knocks Cowboy down? Does he make Cowboy get back up? Would he ever think about going to the ground to try to ground and pound and finish
What did he
him?
do with Eddie Alvarez? He let Eddie right
Yeah.
back up.
But he did go to the ground a little bit after that second knockdown near the fence. But the thing is that Cowboy off his back is a motherfucker. I mean, he's a beast off his back.
Ask Mike Perry.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a beast off his back. I mean, he has submissions over like DuBronx. I mean, I know that wasn't off his back, but I'm just saying he's a beast off his back. But the thing is that what makes Conor? I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that make him special, but he is so good at trapping unorthodox fighters. He traps their lead hand, and you'll see him like go back and watch the Eddie Alvarez fight. A lot of the times and this could open up a head kick from Cowboy, because Conor McGregor, he walks forward with his hands out, and what he's doing is he's trying to reach for that lead hand. And so he basically traps the jab, because Cowboy's actually developed a pretty good jab lately. But he traps the jab, he traps that lead hand, and it forces you to throw a right hand, and he's able to time it so perfectly. When you go to throw the right hand, he steps back, hits you with that pull counter left hand of his. And I mean, I think if Cowboy throws one right hand, he's gonna get hurt badly. But it's just a lot of. I mean, it's intriguing as hell, man. Because I mean, 170, especially at 170. Like the thing is that at 150, at 155, we've seen Cowboy get hurt to the body so many times with body kicks, and obviously southpaw versus orthodox, it opens up the power kick to the body. So I would actually predict I would actually predict a body kick finish by Conor. But then something that John Kavanaugh said it kind of it would kind of worry me if I was talking about that he sees a late finish for Conor McGregor, which is kind of crazy. Like Conor McGregor doesn't have a finish past the second round, and so it would be his first time getting a finish. But he was saying that he sees his fight going to the championship rounds, and it's because of added weight, and that he sees Conor getting a late finish. But we know that Conor, the only Conor McGregor. It's kind of weird. It's almost kind of the opposite. When guys cut a lot of weight, you expect it to possibly take a toll on their cardio, but Conor McGregor, his cardio never really came into question at 145. I mean, he fought a 3-round fight with Max Holloway, didn't get tired at all.
Well, he tore his ACL.
He was taking Max Holloway. Yeah, and he was trying to.
Also, Donnie, you know what? He looked better in the 4th and 5th round against Nate Diaz in the second fight as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he started to gas out a little bit late in the second and into the third, but then in the fourth he caught his second win and he actually won that 4th round against Nate Diaz, and then he probably lost the 5th round. But
so Cowboy is 36, Conor's 31, and you can say that. Yeah. You know, guys at this age, anyone counting Conor out saying he's a has-been is crazy. Me and you talked about this last time. He's only lost three fights, 2 fights in the octagon.
Yeah, he's 9-2 in the UFC. All 4 of his losses are by submission. But I mean, one of his losses by submission, I think it was to Joe Duffy. I think he was on top of Joe Duffy. I'm not sure if that was the one. He was on top.
No, it was Joe Duffy before the UFC.
It was on someone. Yeah, it was on someone. It
was Joe Duffy.
But he was on top of him, beating the hell out of him, and I think he got caught in a leg lock. And that was one of his Cage Warriors fights. And then in the UFC, obviously, he started out 6-0, and then he lost to Nate Diaz. Then he beat Nate Diaz 7-1. Then he beat Eddie. No, sorry. So he started 7-0, and then he's 2-2 in his last 4 fights. But yeah, I mean, the crazy thing to me is people keep saying he hasn't won a fight since 2016. Well, he's only had one fight since 2016. Like, quit counting that Mayweather fight against him. Everyone knows he had no chance.
Everyone is, though. That's the fucked up part.
They count that Mayweather fight against him. Just consider that a huge money grab. Like, everybody was duped. It was the most bet sporting event in history, at least combat sport event in history. I mean, it was a money grab. That's all it was.
And you know, it was a little weird too, Donnie, because there was this whole build up for it, and then there were photos of them backstage together, flying together. Like there was a little Vegas mob shit to it. Yeah.
Yeah. The equivalence to this would be like Michael Phelps, right? He's the greatest swimmer of all time, right?
Yeah.
The equivalent would be to put Michael
him in home run derby. Yeah.
or since it requires,
put him into a fishing tournament, because it has something to do with water.
Or put him on the diving board, in the Olympics for diving, because he knows how to dive into water,
let's see how much water he can drink. Yeah.
Right. I mean, the thing is it was just, it's just a completely different sport. It was a money grab,
and he did well, though. He did pretty well.
He did. I mean, trust me, Mayweather may have carried him a little bit, but
I love that people say that, but they know in the back of their mind, beginning of that fight, leading up to that, TKO, Conor did pretty well.
The thing is, whether he got carried or not, which I would say he probably did, because the thing is that Mayweather changed his whole style. Like, Mayweather had 3-4 different styles in that fight, but you never see Mayweather just cover up and walk someone down.
He also said he didn't train either. They said Mayweather barely trained for the fight.
I heard he was he has a strip club called the Girl Factory or some shit.
Yeah.
I heard he was in that bitch the night before the fight.
Go ask Ariel. Yeah, Ariel waited for him for hours.
The thing is, there was a shot after the the third round when they showed Mayweather on his stool, and I'm not gonna lie, man, the crazy delusional me actually thought that he looked a little worried there because I think it was the second round. Being carried or not, Mayweather showed how much of a chin he has because uh, Conor McGregor hit him with a perfect step back uppercut.
Yeah, yep.
It was a huge uppercut, man, and that was the hardest I've seen Mayweather get hit since maybe um, Sugar. What the hell?
The illegal shot, the illegal shot.
Yeah,
Where he
right.
came back and knocked his opponent out. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember this. I can't think. Every time I try to think of someone, I forget. But when Mayweather he got wobbly legged and fuck, man, I can't think. But anyways,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was the hardest I've seen Mayweather get hit in a while. But
well, here's the other thing: Conor's not a boxer. Conor's not a boxer, and it brings you to the.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Shane Mosley. It was the hardest I've seen Mayweather get hit since Shane Mosley.
Shane Mosley, is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't watch boxing.
I don't watch boxing. I mean, I watch the big fights, but I don't.
When I was little, my father and I would watch every pay per view.
Yeah, me too.
But
yeah, me too. But the thing is that Mosley.
No. Like, don't go up there.
It was so crazy though because Mosley, he caught Mayweather with a huge shot, and it caused Mayweather to do the chicken dance for a second and buckled him.
You know what, Donnie?
Mosley didn't throw a single shot for the rest of the fight.
You know what I like about this upcoming fight with Conor and Cowboy is that Conor is stepping away from everything people didn't like. Showing up to the press conferences drunk when he was going against Habib. Didn't feel like he was taking it seriously. He got wrapped up in the entertainment side of it where people only cared about what was he going to say. Does he have a prediction? Mystic Mac. No, we're seeing the old Conor. At least we're believing or we're being told.
But the thing is that you can't please everyone either because some people want to see all that shit. It's like you can't please everybody, you know.
What's more important though? What's more important right now?
And I'll be honest with
Conor loses, he's screwed.
It's a huge step back. I mean, part of me thinks
they're gonna write him off.
Yeah, but part of me thinks that's kind of the reason he's doing it at 170. It's almost like it alleviates.
If I lose, then this isn't my weight class, right?
Yeah. Like,
but Donnie, this is what I love about Conor.
But if Cowboy wins, though, that could Nate Diaz hit the lottery when he choked out Conor McGregor the first time because the first time I think Nate Diaz, he only got like maybe 350,000 or something like that. But the second fight he got millions because
I'm still mad about that though. Like Conor, the only reason why that happened is because Conor saw that cut opening up and he started going in on it and thought he was going to be able to open him up more until the fight was going to get stopped, and it backfired on him. It really
he's just not used to landing that clean on anybody and them still being there. Like, I mean, he was landing huge shots on Nate Diaz and Nate Diaz just kept coming forward. Like, who the hell would have survived that soccer kick from Masvidal?
Yeah, he would have kept coming for Masvidal too.
I mean, it's crazy.
You gotta
man.
love the kid. Yeah, you gotta love Diaz, man.
Yeah, but the thing is like Nate Diaz hit the lottery when he won that first fight because I remember Dana White flew to Stockton and they were in some restaurant and they were trying to do negotiations with Nate Diaz.
Oh yeah.
And Dana White got pissed off and like people said that he picked up something off the table and threw something off the table.
Yep.
But Nate Diaz, like Conor, that's the only fight Conor would take. He was like obsessed with the rematch, and so Nate Diaz was basically finally, for the first time in his career, had some bargaining power.
Now, did you see?
What's that?
Did you see how Conor looks for this fight compared to what he looked like in the Diaz fight at this weight?
He looks muscular as hell. Like the thing is that going to help his cardio? No. I mean, if this goes late, I don't see how. Like his
also,
coach,
though, Donnie, he wasn't used to being that heavy at that time. Now his body's a little bit more regulated to that, I'd feel.
That's true.
But also, he hasn't been active, and we know what a difference that could make.
Yeah, and I just think there was no better Conor than the active Conor. So to me, it just adds another layer. And then you mentioned something about being counted out, but Conor being counted out. But the thing is that I see that, but I also see Cowboy being counted out a lot too, like how he's not being featured in the video you're talking about. If you look at the
Well,
betting
two
odds,
different things. Two different things. When I say
oh yeah,
Conor's being counted out, it's by the fans. Like fans, if he
I know.
loses, they're gonna count him out. But if he wins, Donnie, you know what's gonna happen? All the people talking shit, they're gonna be quiet for a couple days. The next time Conor fights, they're gonna be on his ass. And you know what? That's just how the sport works. We've seen it happen for so many years. And at the same time, there's people deep down in their heart, they want to see Conor win because they enjoyed watching him win. They saw
I mean, the sport needs it to win. To
they
be
were
honest with you,
inspired
I mean,
by it. Conor was an inspiration before all the bullshit.
there is one guy, or maybe two. I would add Nate Diaz to that list because, as you mentioned one time, Nate Diaz never loses. He just runs out of time. But the thing is that if there's anybody in the UFC that gets away with a loss better than anyone, it's Cowboy Cerrone. Like he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He was on a 3-fight losing streak at one point, which I thought he actually beat.
Lawler?
I thought he actually beat Robbie Lawler, but he
Yeah.
lost 3 in a row for the first time in his career when he lost to George Masvidal, then he lost to Lawler, and then he lost to Darren Till, and then he went on a run, and now he's lost 2 in a row
It
again.
happens a lot to him in the last few years. He gets hot and cold, hot and cold. He'll
Yeah, but
win
the thing is,
straight
like,
for a year,
no-
lose for a year.
But
win
no
for a
one,
year.
no, but yeah, but no one forgives Cowboy of a loss. More like no one is more forgiving of a loss towards anyone than they are towards Cowboy.
I feel
So a
like
lot
people
of-
care too much about what the fans think, and I find myself caring too much about it. And me and my co-host James McSweeney talk about that a lot. Like I get wrapped up in what the fans think a lot, and I feel like a lot of the other media members do too. But that's what runs the sport. That's what the sport's becoming. It's MMA out of any other sport out there between MLB, NBA, football. The sports fans in MMA really do kind of pull the strings a little bit when it comes to
Yeah,
fight matchmaking and who's
Of course they do.
favored
They do. Of course they do.
more than
But
any
they're
other
also-
sport.
But they're also the most fickle fans too. Like
They're
it's
brutal, bro.
It's
Oh,
so much.
God.
What it's like so much. What have you done for me lately? Type of. I mean, a guy can win 3 fights and then lose one, and he's the worst fighter on the planet. Like
It's
I mean,
that's messed up, man. Yeah.
it's just a crazy thing. Like people forget so easily.
Look
and
what happened
then
to
also-
Rashad. Rashad fell
and then-
into all that. He
and then
started
the
listening to
opposite.
people.
And then the opposite. Like the thing is like I'm a big George Masvidal fan. I've been a fan a long time, and I remember when he lost to little Rafael and Sunsao back in the day. I mean, his shark fight days. I mean, the days when he lost to Paul Daly. I mean, I've followed his career a long time. I'm not
Lorenz
gonna say I
Larkin.
fo-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I followed his career back to when he was in the fucking backyards fighting. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say I followed him that long. Obviously, I mean,
No one
obviously,
cared
I've gone
unless
back
it was
and watched
Kimbo
it.
when it came to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back and watched, but no fans piss me off now more than George Masvidal fans because
Why?
that hashtag. I don't know that hashtag super necessary and
Oh, and all these people didn't give a shit about him in 2016 or
Exactly,
17.
exactly.
None of them.
yeah, do you know how frustrating it was being a George Masvidal fan when he would come out and
I don't know any George Masvidal fans in 2015, 16, 17, or you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, he would be so fucking frustrating.
Where
like,
you at?
He would come out and beat the shit out of someone for the first round, and then he just wouldn't throw a punch after that. Like, he would be so hesitant. It's almost like he was afraid of gassing out or something. And he would be so hesitant, and he would lose these split decisions.
He's a guy like Matt Brown a little bit, where like we're excited to see him fight, but we weren't counting too much on it. We knew it was going to be a good one, but most likely probably going to go to a decision or something.
Yeah, and then when he came back at the beginning of the year in March against Darren Till in London, I mean, he was like a 3-1 underdog in that fight. And I'm not gonna lie,
That
I
was a
took
big one.
Darren Till. I took Darren Till by decision. I thought Darren Till was gonna win a decision.
A lot of people did. But you know what, Donnie?
Finish Masvidal, but
Would you have picked it if Darren Till didn't start talking shit to Cowboy and win that fight? Because no one cared about Darren Till before that. No one even really knew who he was.
oh, no, I know. Yeah, well, I think he. Yeah, I mean,
Circles
that
back to what did you do for me lately, like you said, though.
yeah, like the thing is, like Leon Edwards, for example. Leon Edwards, like I thought his big turning point for him was going to be when he beat Cowboy, because look what Darren Till's career trajectory went sky high, and his popularity went sky high.
Or a
after
3-piece and a soda.
that. Yeah, he's kind of known for the 3-piece and a soda guy now, but. I mean, Leon Edwards is a talented dude. I mean, he's 10-2 in the UFC. He's won 8 in a row, and still people really don't know him. But I thought, like I said, like once when Darren Till beat Cowboy, it shot Darren Till up there, you know. And then when
Oh yeah,
Leon
dude.
Edwards, when Leon Edwards beat Cowboy,
It was like Matt
like
Serra beating
it,
GSP in a way. It was like, who is this guy? Oh my god.
yeah, but it, like I don't, yeah, for Darren Till,
In
but
a
like
way, yeah.
yeah, but when Leon Edwards beat Cowboy, it was like, I mean, maybe he just didn't do it dominant enough, like Darren Till did, and maybe he just didn't talk enough. Because to me, like, I don't even want to hear Leon Edwards talk. Like, it's kind of obnoxious to hear him talk. But I like him as a fighter. He's a very good fighter. But he just, I don't know. Like, I guess he didn't take advantage of it as much. And then I think it was San Antonio. He beat RDA. I mean, the only person really calling for Leon Edwards has been Usman. It's almost like Usman wants to hype up Leon.
Who's teasing that?
He's been talking. I mean, who doesn't
They
want
all
to
want
fight?
the red panty night, Donnie. They all. Who doesn't?
And Conor kind of brought that on himself because Conor said that he brought up Usman and Colby Covington and said that he saw that fight or whatever, and that he wanted he was looking at gold at 170. So to me, in order to get gold at 170, it would have to be through Usman because I don't see anyone beating Usman.
Now, Donnie, what are your 2020 predictions? Do we see Jorge Masvidal versus Edwards? You think, or what do you see going down in 2020?
I think George Masvidal is going to wait and see what happens in this Cowboy Conor fight, but ultimately, I think, man, it's hard to say. I think Leon Edwards is going to beat. This is going to piss off some people, but they're either so far on one side or so far on the other side when it comes to Tyron Woodley. But I honestly think Leon Edwards is going to beat Tyron Woodley. Like Tyron Woodley, he doesn't have the gas days. Yeah, I think Leon Edwards wins that fight, man. Because well, see, the thing is, if you watch, I mean, can Tyron Woodley catch him with a big punch? Obviously, Tyron Woodley, most powerful guy at welterweight. So of course he could catch Leon Edwards with a big punch. But Tyron Woodley, he's become so predictable, and he's not getting any younger. What is he, 37 now? But the thing is, when you watch Tyron Woodley fight, he does the same shit. He he backs himself against the cage, and then as soon as his back foot touches the cage, he explodes forward. And Leon Edwards, I think he's better at banking rounds. Like to me, Tyron Woodley, and maybe it's just recency bias watching Tyron Woodley fight, watching him fight Usman.
Base fights off of their past. You got to base.
Yeah, yeah. I can't say a few years ago when he was one of the few to like perfectly, even though I thought he lost the first fight, to be honest with you, but like how the Wonder Boys and how he was basically able to, he didn't do it in the most exciting ways, but he was basically able to beat guys at their own strengths. But Woodley, to me, he kind of has one foot out the door. He's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm glad that he has his life outside of fighting set up and everything, but it's just, the thing is, man, guys are so fucking hungry. It's like Conor McGregor, for example. I mean, guys are so fucking hungry, and if you're not, I mean, this is the wrong sport to not be all the way 100% committed to, because it can get you hurt badly, And there's just some guys like Tyron Woodley, which is awesome that, like I said, that he's establishing his life outside of fighting. But Leon Edwards, I mean, has been building for this fight and for this moment for so long, and I mean,
Well,
it's in his home, not in his hometown. His hometown is Birmingham,
What's his hometown?
England.
What's his hometown?
Birmingham, England. Leon Edwards, Birmingham, England. Which I don't know how far from London that is.
Here's
but
the thing,
I mean,
Donnie, like they're saying that T. Wood is on focus, doing the rap. I saw news reports today that Cowboy Cerrone is going to be doing a Netflix movie special or something like that. He was also in, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Look, good example right here. Michael Bisping on the set of Triple X comes out and beats Luke Rockhold. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of ways,
It matters who it is, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Case to
yeah,
case.
but the thing is, yeah, but if you watch Tyron Woodley, like he had his rap album like was being released, like the
Which is
launch of his
god
rap album.
awful. I love T
Oh
Wood,
God,
but I feel
I
like
know.
anyone can do a better job. Like
Oh
so,
man, it was,
it's
like
not.
to me, my favorite song is of Tyron Woodley's is that
I'll whip your
remake that
head,
he did.
boy. Like the 50 Cent ripoff.
What was the one that he did with he did it with Randy Couture at the award show. Like they ripped off that
Oh,
one
Old
song.
Country Road.
Popular. Yeah,
Country
there you go.
Road with
To
our
me,
boys MMA Roasted. Adam Hunter.
yeah, exactly. That was like the funniest to me. That was like the funniest shit. Like
Hell
or
yeah.
the best song he's had, and it's not even really a full song. It's like, but
That was a
I mean
good
that's
one
like his
though.
only good shit to me. That's like the only good shit to me, but that he's had. But no, the thing is that like the night he fought Usman, he was supposed to have a release party after that and all that shit. So, I mean, he was doing Hawaii 5-0. He was in Hawaii doing that. Then he's flying to LA to do TMZ. Then he's going here to do that. I mean, I guess you can stretch yourself so thin,
You could.
and
Yeah.
then guys are just. And then if you look at Tyron Woodley in that fight against Usman, I mean, take no credit away from Usman at all, but Tyron Woodley looked like a shell of himself, man. It was crazy to watch, and Usman just shut him down. Tyron Woodley, it looked like he was just loading up, looking for that one perfect shot, and
The whole time.
the whole entire fight. I mean, his coaches were. It's like the fourth and fifth round. It was like they were trying to wake him up, and they're
Ugh.
like, "You need to finish him. You need to finish it." And it was like he wasn't there. Like
Donnie, I
you
got to
know,
play this for our listeners tuning in right now in case they haven't heard it, because anyone dissing on T Wood, this is good. And Adam Hunter, I believe, helped them out with this. So here we go.
Chat and go live.
No, not Meet Me, Go Live. But here we go. I'll play a couple seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my gloves to the octagon. I'm gonna fight until I can't no more. I'm gonna take my gloves to the octagon. I'm gonna fight until I can't no more. I got my corners in the back, my waist is attached. Always bet on black, and my belt back, that's a fact. I started out in strike force, how the roof is bored. Beat up on Robbie, can't nobody stop me. Kobe ain't gon' do nothing. Ain't gon' do nothing. Tomorrow you know I'm coming.
Ready, Donnie?
Tomorrow I'm coming. You know I'm an actor, damn good rapper.
That's the best part. A damn good
Yeah.
rapper.
that's
Yeah,
that song is
I'm an
sweet, man. I'm not
actor,
gonna lie.
damn good rapper. That's the only line I take out. But that is an actually
song-
good song. It's a good cover. Come on.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. I had to go to T Wood's face or excuse me his Twitter page and just so I could play it again a
Donnie,
couple times, man.
download the song till it couldn't no
Yeah.
more.
I even plugged my phone in like the auxiliary cable in my
Went
car.
for a ride. Went for a ride on the back roads and shit. Just cruising. Just like, I hope this dude gets his belt back. Yeah. That's great. Wait.
Like I said,
We gotta wait for the chorus. Ready? Hold on.
My life is a movie, always rep St. Louis. Got so many groupies, they all want my booty. Oh, we ain't gon' do nothing. Ain't gon' do nothing. Tomorrow you know I'm coming. Tomorrow I'm coming. I'm gonna take my gloves to the octagon. I'm gonna fight until I can't no more.
Come on, that's good, Donnie. I'm gonna.
that shit is good, man. I
Come
like
on,
that
bro.
song.
I hope our listeners that are on their way to work right now, or maybe at the gym listening, maybe they're at the beach if they're lucky, living, somewhere down south, tuning in. Maybe go check out that song because it actually is pretty good. Maybe they have a new outlook.
like it.
But you know
I
what?
like that.
You saw
Yeah.
his rap freestyle after he lost to Usman, and I wanted to cry for him.
Dude, this song he came out with like on his page or like, and it was like so weak too because Leon Edwards like roasted him about his rapping, and then Leon Edwards said some shit like when I beat you in March or whatever, he's like, at least you have your rap career to fall back on.
Oh,
And
God.
Tyron Woodley's response was basically, shut the hell up or I'm not going to fight you. So it was almost like keep joking me. I'm not gonna fight you. Like, so I thought it was like really like weak sauce by Tyron, to be honest with you. And I'm a big Willie fan, man.
I am
But
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have Leon Edwards winning that fight by decision, man.
Now
I just
moving
no.
forward, Donnie. Let's switch gears here a little bit for our listeners. There was a lot of people that chimed in on Fighters of the Decade, Fighters of 2019. Let's start there. Fighters of 2019, male and female. Who's your male fighter for 2019? You go, and then I'll give you my pick on that.
Well, I mean, George Masvidal is a good choice because of the resurrection
He's gotta be, right?
of his career. I mean, but the thing is, I think mainly what it's been is kind of a monetary gain. Like, you know, like he's made probably more money this year than he's made in his entire career, and it's only going to get bigger in his next fight. But I still have to go with Israel Adesanya because they were both 3-0, but Israel Adesanya, I mean, he touched gold twice, you know, the interim title, and then he unified it with Robert Whittaker. And so just for the title fights, I would have to go with Israel Adesanya for the male fighter of the year.
TheBodyLock.com agrees with you. Male fighter of the year, Israel Adesanya. Female fighter of the year, Amanda Nunes. And I think that's spot on.
Yeah,
right there.
I do too. And I think there was a lot of controversy because, and I would actually probably name her my breakthrough fighter of the year rather than female fighter of the year. No, not Amanda Nunes. No, there was like some controversy because apparently the female fighter of the year for someone was named Weili Zhang, and I just don't know how.
It was shocking.
Yeah, but I would more so call her breakthrough fighter of the year because
biggest shock of the year.
Yeah, because the thing is, she was number 6 when she fought Andrade for the title, and a lot of people didn't give her a chance. And even though she was on like a
2 in the morning card,
like 18, 19, yeah, but she was like an 8. Yeah, she's very good. But I mean, the one knock I will say is that we haven't gotten to see her extended in a fight because I think she did kind of slow down against Tisha Torres in their fight, and so we haven't seen her extended in a fight because, I mean, she did start fucking Jessica Andrade pretty early, and that was shocking. And it wasn't shocking to me that because I told someone that Zhang was going to win.
So early on, though? Come on, Donnie. So early on in the fight, I thought it was going to be a war. I didn't think it was going to be like that, though.
Yeah, there was this poker player, and like I won't say his name, but he has probably I think he has like over $1 million in live tournament winnings in poker.
Is this the same guy that bet on Ronda losing to Holly, or no?
No. I could have. I don't know. I didn't know him then, but no. It's on Twitter.
You know the guy.
No. Yeah, he got in an argument with me on Twitter when I said that Zhang was going to beat Andrade.
Oh. Okay.
And it was like a pissing contest, you know, like whose dick's bigger type thing. Because obviously,
I hate when people do that.
If he has,
it's like, come on, this is for fun.
Yeah, like obviously, if he has over $1 million in live tournament winnings, then he has more money than I have.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, let's match accounts or some shit. Like Andrade is definitely gonna win, and
you won.
Well, yeah, I didn't bet him though. Like I was like, fuck this guy.
What was that about? Hardball. Fucking own this guy money, training a little league team in the Bronx. Yeah, trying to win your money back. Fucking smashing TVs and shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I didn't. I'm not gonna bet anyone on Twitter. I mean, why am I gonna bet?
Though you should start a podcast on it. I've been telling you this. Start a podcast here on the Pure EVil MMA Network. Name it whatever you want. Let me promote you. 2020, I'm gonna put a lot of money into this website promoting us.
No,
and
I will.
I want you to take
Donny
hold.
Rockett puts cash in your pocket.
There you go. Yes.
Let's do it.
What was the thing I came up with?
Put cash in your pocket.
What was the name I came up with?
Dude, there's I think that's it.
It was something
Donny
like
Rockett, cash in your pocket, yeah. Dude, but no, the thing
cash.
is like it makes me feel good. Like after every event,
came in first place, right? Like this year.
There's like so many people who message me and tell me thanks.
Even like, UFC fighters.
I'm like, thanks for what? And
asking you advice for their fights.
Yeah, and they show me they're like even people who don't ask. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who no, but there is a lot of people who ask me for advice, and like the thing is like it's almost like do as I say, not as I do. So like I'll give them some some bets that I think are
Give them
like
a
I
little
will.
rocket fuel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
but
rocket
there's some.
juice.
Yeah, but I share my bets and my picks, and then
Which is what it should
underneath
be
I say
about,
it.
man. I hate when people get nasty. It's like, come on, we're
Yeah,
having fun here. This is sport. This
yeah,
is our getaway from the real horrors of life. This is where we should
yeah.
unite, not fucking be all
See,
pissed
like
off and
so much,
troll.
yeah. But so much. The thing is, so much bad shit happened in my life, and I was laid up for so long. When like the only reason I joined Twitter in the first place, I didn't even know anything about MMA Twitter. Like I thought Twitter was someone like something where like people just followed their friends and it was like kind of like a Facebook type thing.
Same
But
here,
I
yeah.
never even knew about like the secret community, like not really secret, but
And how it's
I never
it's
really knew about the communities within the community.
it's the best sporting community
Say
out
again?
there. It's the best sporting community out
Oh,
there.
for sure, man, for sure. And the thing is like for every like asshole who says like, look at you, man, like what's wrong with your eye because I have a lazy eye or something. Of course, I've always been self-conscious of the fact that a doctor
It's
fucked my eye. I have
2020
lazy
though. It's 2000. Anyone that is racist or has an opinion, get the
I
fuck
know,
out
but
of here.
it's so
Get the
funny though.
fuck out of here.
Like who the fuck is staring at my picture that close to like notice my lazy eye anyway? But that makes them like
Why
even
is
weird.
that a big deal? What is
Yeah,
that? Why is that a
I don't
big
know.
deal? What the
I don't know.
fuck?
But for
It's
every
not even
asshole
real.
like that, but for every asshole like that, like I've met so many great
Donnie,
people. Like
Donnie, everyone has a flaw. Everyone has a flaw. There's no one that's perfect out there. Even the
no,
people who are perfect or people think are perfect, like Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio, those guys have a lot of flaws, and their flaws stick to the wall just like mine, just like yours. I mean, when I was younger, man, I used to be conscientious about my nose. People would be like, oh, you have a big nose. It's like, yeah, because I play sports. I broke my nose, this and that. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is me. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm having fun. You want to judge on that, you're wasting your time because I don't care. I do not
yeah,
care.
like
So
this is a
it's
big reason
pointless.
my dad was like my dad was my best friend. Like let me just paint a picture of my mom for you. Like growing up, like my mom would let all these boyfriends beat the hell out of me and stuff. But anyways, I ended up getting taken in for eye surgery, and the doctor fucked up my eye, and so I have a lazy eye now.
Whoa, whoa,
And
whoa,
used
whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? Kind of like a Michael Bisping, kind of like a detached retina?
no, like
Or,
no, like I had LASIK surgery when I was older, when I was 18, when I was playing baseball in college, because contacts were like the dirt was getting in the contacts,
oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
wearing glasses playing baseball wasn't. So no, I have like 20/20 vision ever since I got LASIK surgery, but especially when I get really tired or like if I'm taking a picture, like I don't really know how to like if I'm taking a selfie or something, like it's hard for me to know how to look into the camera kind of thing. And so every like especially when I'm tired though, you can really tell I have a lazy eye. But the thing was is that the eye doctor is the one that fucked up. And my mom could have I was a kid, so my mom could have sued them for like malpractice, you know?
Donnie, at the same
She,
time, it's a waste of time for you to care about what anyone
oh,
else
I know,
thinks. Like,
no, I know. But the thing
but the
is that
thing
my
is,
mom
there's
could,
so many people like that, right? That just
yeah. But the
fucking
thing is, yeah. But
they
the thing
think,
is,
oh, I got him, I got him. It's like, get the fuck
yeah,
out
it's
of
just
here.
funny. It's just so
What are you in
funny.
fourth
But,
grade? Come on.
but my mom, this is my mom though. Like she could have sued the doctor for malpractice, and the only reason why she didn't is because she thought the doctor was hot.
Oh, get
Like that.
really?
Yeah, that's what I was dealing with growing up. But what I was saying, my main point for bringing up like this, I mean, this dude looks like this guy who joked me about my eye, and I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like my response to him was like, okay, well, if that makes you feel better about yourself, like I was really mature about it. Like when I first joined Twitter, I would get in these like arguments and shit with people, but the only thing I said to him was, if that makes you feel better about yourself, and like all these people attacked him, but literally the
Good.
dude looks like, and this is no bullshit, he has his own picture up there, and a lot of times it's the people, sometimes it's the people with the abbies that that's not really themselves, or they're under like these
Oh yeah,
like
it's a picture of Habib or something. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But this dude was under his own name and he looked like, and this is no bullshit, like he looked like Peter Griffin from Family Guy, and
Ouch.
he's joking me about my eye. Like I promise you, dude, like I've pulled more pussy in one night than you have in your whole life. But anyways, it was just funny how he was joking me about it, and I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt. It did hurt. I'm not gonna. It did.
Donnie, you got to get
Like
past that shit though. Like,
I don't
it
know,
shouldn't
but I am
hurt.
because I am self conscious about it. But the thing is like the time of my life when I joined Twitter, I didn't know about like MMA Twitter and all these communities. I only joined to follow the fighters because I would get an email and it would say something like, "This fighter said this," and I could only read part of the tweet. And so I joined Twitter, and that's when I met like Phil the MMA dude, and then
Oh, he's
he
good
opened me
people.
to like
Yeah.
and he opened me up to like the world of MMA Twitter. And now like I've met so many great people through Twitter, and like, dude, like it was at a time in my life when I was laid up, fucking popping pills just to be able to like get through the day. I was in so much pain. I was like trapped in my own body, and the only thing that really got me through, to be honest with you, was the people on MMA Twitter and watching fights, like watching MMA in general, like studying fights and stuff like that. So when I say to people on MMA Twitter that they've had a profound impact on my life after losing my father, after shattering my ankle and being laid up and not being able to work for so long, when I say they've had a profound impact on my life for the good, and like some of these people have literally probably saved me, like I'm not even bullshitting. Like I consider people, like a lot of people on MMA Twitter, like some of my closest friends in life now. Like honestly, like I pretty much isolated myself from the real world when I lost my dad and when I shattered my ankle and things like that. And I've met so many great people in there. Like they've honestly had like when I say that, like I'm not just, this is not just hollow words that I'm just saying that make it
Donnie, I feel
sound
like
good.
there's so many people out there that can relate to that, including myself.
Yeah, it's not just like something I say to people for likes or this and that or whatever. Like when I say that people on MMA Twitter have had a profound impact on my life and still to every day have a profound impact on my day-to-day life, like I literally mean it. Like some people, like I care
It
about a
gets
lot
you
of
out
people.
of bed in a way, right? It excites you. It
Yeah,
motivates you. It
yeah,
when you
yeah,
have a fight night coming up and you know you got all these people online, people are looking for bets and people are engaging. Like there's just so much. Like dude, it's amazing. It's probably
yeah.
saved millions of lives out there, and that's why this community is just so amazing, man.
No, it is amazing. Like just like the
Fuck
thing
the
is
trolls.
not like
There's so many
like
great people.
yeah, like you ever, I'm sure you when you were young, you probably popped in one of them like fetish websites or something,
I still do,
chat.
bro. What do you mean back when I was still
Yeah,
do,
like those.
bro?
Like I remember when I was like a
I might even be
teenager.
on one or two. Yeah.
But no, like when I was a teenager, it was like you could pop into one of those like little like those like fetish chat rooms, and it was like something for everybody, you know. Well,
Yeah, and you feel
like
good. Yeah.
Twitter is almost like it's it's shaped for, you know, like just for me kind of thing. Like I feel it's like just for me kind of, you know, like I don't know how to explain it,
You
but
feel like you
it's just
found a group of you feel like you have a cult in a way. It's not a
yeah,
cult, but it's
like-minded people who care about the same things, and that like
this
MMA
is why
is
I
like
call it the
a
MMA
huge part of
scene.
the life.
It's a
Because
scene of people.
yeah, because you don't know people like that in life. Like I don't really know people who like MMA, you know,
But you
like
meet
but the
them.
thing
You
is,
do podcasts or you meet them
yeah.
through working or
Mhm.
tweeting and dude, it really is so therapeutic. It really I've had more therapy with this than I've had spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Mhm.
actual therapists that are 7 years old, listen to Grateful Dead, and think that they can give me a lyric or two and I'd be cured. It's not that
Right.
how it
Yeah.
works. Which is why
Yeah.
I say all the time, like all the people that are out there trolling, you got to realize that there's so many people out here that are getting yelled at by their bosses or they're dealing with this or dealing with that. They come here to know that they're going to be tuning into a fight. They're going to be tweeting with people that relate to them, and it's a good feeling. And that's why I started this podcast.
Yeah, man. The thing is like, and that's why I can disregard the people who talk shit and stuff like that now. Like I don't even pay them any attention because for every one of them, there's 100 people that are fantastic, awesome people who are just there for the same experience as me, you know. And like I said, I can literally say like I care. There's a lot of people like yourself that I'm proud to call my friend and that I care about, you know.
Donnie, with that being said, feel good moment of the year, whether it's a MMA story, whether it's a fight, a fighter, anything at all. What was your feel good moment of the year for 2000? And before
Dang,
you
kind
answer
of.
through this, all right, this is from Ariel Hawani's awards. Male Fighter of the Year, Jorge Masvidal. Female fighter,
Yeah,
Zhang Weili. Knockout of the year, Masvidal versus Askren. I agree.
yeah,
Submission of the year, Bryce Mitchell. Agree. Fight of
yeah.
the year, Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin. Agree. Coach of the year, Eugene Behrman. I
I
don't know.
I agree.
You
City
agree?
Kickboxing. Yeah, that's Izzy's coach. I mean,
Yeah.
they went undefeated this year. He went undefeated with, well, actually, they lost one fight. Sorry, Kai Car France lost on the end of the year
What
card
about
against Brent
Fortis
Moreno.
MMA
But
though? Who's the head coach
Oh,
at Fortis?
that's Safe Saud. And he's fantastic, man. That team's only been up since 2017. I would think
Fresh out
his
the
number one,
gate, yeah.
yeah, his number one prospect is probably Jeff Neal. His female number one prospect is that chick, man. What the fuck? She was on the heavy hitters. She lost her last fight, but a lot of people are looking at her as like a champion. I think she should move up to 145 though, but there's really not. I mean, to
Oh,
help
you
move the.
see your girl from PFL talking shit to Henry Cejudo?
Oh yeah, Kayla Harrison. Like she's
Yeah.
like, I
I'll
would tell
bend
you to.
my knee, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I would. I would tell you to bend the knee, but you're already close, or two. You're already, short enough to be
Something
down there or
crazy
some
like that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Round of the year goes to Adesanya versus Gastelum. Walkout of
yeah,
the year,
I
Israel
agree.
Adesanya. Definitely Israel Adesanya. We don't see much of that. We don't see that in the UFC anymore,
Yeah,
where they do a walkout.
I saw a lot of people say that was so cringe and so stupid. But I mean, I enjoyed it, man. People forget that. I mean,
Wait, hold on,
yeah,
Donnie. What was that? All right, so we just played it. Just the dancing choreography that he did. A lot of people will say, well, that's probably taking a little energy away from him, this and that. Went down at UFC 243 not that long ago, but at the same time, you can miss that. There's a lot of people out there that miss that. I say this all the time. I wish the UFC would do what they did, like they had set up for UFC 189 with Chad Mendes versus Conor McGregor, where
oh,
they had
yeah,
Sinead O'Connor and Aaron
yeah,
Lewis sing. Something like
yeah,
this, it adds a little bit. You know what I mean? Not
yeah. It
for
was kind
every
of.
fight. Don't
Looking
do it
back
for
in
every
the day
fight.
look at back in the day with with
Mayhem
Anderson
Miller
Silva.
or Anderson
No,
Silva doing Michael
Anderson
Jackson. Yeah.
doing the Michael Jackson, yeah. But the thing is, I saw so many people saying that Israel Adesanya shit was corny and all that. The thing is that he's still getting in there to face the number one,
And does it
the
affect
champ.
your life? Does it complicate your day? Are you
No,
upset? Are you going to turn the TV off because of it, or were you actually watching it the whole time? Because if it was cringy,
and
you
I
probably
saw,
wouldn't have seen it.
and the thing is, yeah, and I saw so many people obviously picking Robert Whitaker, which nothing wrong with that. I mean, Robert Whitaker hadn't
I picked
lost
Whitaker. I
so
picked
many.
him.
Yeah, he hadn't lost in so many years. Like I based my pick solely around like the not solely, but mainly I based my pick of Israel Adesanya around the fact that he had like a 6.5 inch reach advantage, and guys with 6 inch reach advantage or more win like 70% of the time. So
Wow.
just
Yeah, makes sense.
you could just blindly pick Israel Adesanya in that
Well,
fight.
you know
These
what,
seven.
Donnie? He's so new too. He's so new, not new to the sport, but new to the UFC. It's really remarkable. We wanted to see him get tested and tested, and they kept pushing it and pushing it. And when he had the fight against Anderson Silva, we were all on the same page. We were like, all right, let's go. Even though there's some people out there that might say, well, it's Anderson Silva later on. No, that was the passing of the torch right there. And
Yeah,
what's
not only
ahead
that.
of
Imagine trying to fight your hero. I mean, it can't be
Remember the
easy, man.
weigh-ins? He got Israel to almost break down because
Yeah,
Anderson was just,
yeah,
so emotional for that.
yeah. It can't. I mean, the thing is like people said that Izzy underperformed and that Anderson actually won a round, and they actually used that as a reason to fade him against Kelvin Gastelum and to fade him against Whitaker. But the thing is that like if you watch Israel Adesanya's last kickboxing match with big gloves on, he was knocked out cold. I mean, he was up in that fight. He was winning it. He almost finished. I think it's Alex, somebody he was fighting, but he almost finished, dude. And then he gets finished himself. Like I think he was kind of showboating a little bit, kind of like Anderson Silva, and he got finished. And then shortly amassed a 13-0, like a 13-0 record going into the UFC, 12 or 13-0. And then, I mean, I watched him fight outside the UFC against Melvin Gillard. And he even had some grappling in that fight, but it was kind of crazy. But
Well, guess
but yeah, dude, the dude is. I mean, but think of another thing with the walkout. Think of the balls it takes to do something like that, knowing you have to
yeah.
go into the cage and fight another man, and it was a record crowd. I mean, you would look like a moron if you did that walkout and then went in there and lost. Like it would be kind of unfortunate for Robert Whitaker because all people would be talking about is the fact that Israel Adesanya did the walkout and then got starched or then lost, But not only does he hit come out with that walkout, then he goes in there.
It adds to the energy of it too for Israel Adesanya, where he nails that and he's feeling good for nailing it. You know what I mean? It adds
Yeah.
to probably his performance as well, as much as it does probably take away for the energy. Well, the little energy it probably took away.
Right.
But, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's building a vibe. I don't know.
Yeah. And, dude, he fucking carried that vibe into the octagon and he fucking dismantled Robert Whitaker. I mean, Robert Whitaker was like, I think 9-0 at middleweight, but
Now, Donnie, breakout fighter of the year. They went with Rosenstruck, who had an amazing performance. Well, not an amazing performance against Overeem,
amazing comeback.
but he had an amazing comeback. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I think he went 4-0 with 4 knockouts.
But what he did to Overeem was just holy shit.
Oh man, fucking
After
split his
losing the
shit.
whole thing.
Split his shit. Split his wig for real.
It was almost like Cub Swanson losing to T-City, Clay Guida losing to T-City, where he was winning every round, and the last couple of seconds is a boom, but on a bigger scale. Like, this is heavyweight. Like, damn.
Yeah. I think my breakthrough fighter of the year would have to be Wiley Zhang. I mean, she was number 6 in the world, and she wins the title. And she does. Not only does she win the title, but she wins the title in China, world's biggest population. But not only does she win the title, then win the title in China, but she fucking starched a very tough Jessica Andrade, who was a 135-pounder and probably brought that chin down to 115. I mean, Andrade is like the epitome of a just walking through shit to get to you, like to get her hands on you, and she got starched by Zhang. So that'd probably be my breakthrough fighter of the year. And I've said this before. I mean, with the country that she has behind her,
Yeah.
she could become one. I mean, if she keeps winning, man, she could become one of the biggest stars in the sport.
Which is very hard because she has to fight Joanna next. But Donnie, let me get to this next part.
Hold on, another breakthrough fight of the year. Somebody nobody would think of though, but
I like that. What?
He actually has a big fight coming up too. Marlon Chito Vera.
Ooh, weird, but okay.
Marlon Chito Vera.
Well, remember last year we had Alex. What the hell's his name? Something Alexander.
Ratchik?
No. Alex. Oh my God, why can't I remember?
Volkanovski?
No.
That could be another breakthrough fight of the year.
He had the fight against Cowboy at the beginning of the year. Cowboy beat him.
Oh, Alexander Hernandez.
Yes.
Well, that could actually be another breakthrough fighter of the year right there.
Well, no,
Alexander
he did pretty bad this year.
No. Alexander Volkanovski.
Oh, Volkanovski. Okay.
He comes into the year. I mean, he was an underdog in every fight he had, and he was a big underdog against Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big underdog against not a big underdog. He was a moderate underdog against Chad Mendez. He was a decent underdog.
Oh man, that was hard to watch, Mendez.
Yeah. And then he was a decent sized underdog against Jose Aldo. And I'm not gonna lie, I bet Jose Aldo. I mean, how can you not take Jose Aldo in that spot with his takedown defense and Rio,
Dude,
the king
looks
of Rio?
so good at the new weight class too. I mean, we talked about it for a little bit, but it's impressive if anyone beats Jose Aldo. He's pretty young still.
Jose, I don't think he's only like 33 or some shit, but I mean, I guess he's much older in fight years, but yeah, like Marlon Chito Vera, he's like my under the radar breakthrough fighter of the year. I think he went 3-0 or 4-0, but he's on a 5-fight win streak, all 5 fights finishes, and he has
cold, yeah.
And he's 5-0 in his last 5 with 5 finishes, and he has a huge fight coming up versus Jimmy Rivera. And
our boy.
There is some real bad blood versus Marlon Vera and Jimmy Rivera. Like, they hate each other.
People out there that don't know, what is it over?
I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. Like, I would have to look into it. I just know there's some bad blood. I don't know the reason for it, but there's some bad blood between the two.
Now, they're on the show a bunch of times here at EVil MMA.
They're fighting Saturday. They're fighting Saturday, February 8th.
To prove, I mean, he didn't have a really good 2019, man.
No, about as bad as it can get. I mean, he
It's hard
fought
to
some up
believe.
and comers. He fought some up and comers like Peter Yan. I
Defeated
mean,
for so long, and now he's having a little hard time at, which just
yeah,
shows you gotta have respect because it's not like this is what pisses me off, Donnie. When people write these guys off, it's like, hold on a second. You're gonna write somebody off that's competing at the top echelon of the most talented fighters in the world.
yeah, he was on like a 20 fight win streak, dude. He lost like his, I think he lost like
Oh, the
his.
number two guy beat him, and now he's number three. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about? That's still amazing.
I
Get
know.
out of here.
Yeah, I think he won. He beat the hell out of Uriah Faber with leg kicks, and he beat Uriah Faber.
That was
He
crazy.
was on like
Yeah.
he was on like a 20 fight win streak. I think he lost either his debut, like
Yep. Yep.
his MMA debut, or his second fight or something like that, and it was like a split decision.
Bro, he
And
came
so
on here calling out Dominic Cruz twice. Twice.
yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
fight
He,
I
yeah,
still want to
and
see.
he was scheduled to fight. Now he was going to get that fight. He was scheduled to
He
fight
came on here to
Dominic
talk
Cruz.
about it. Yeah, bro. Like,
Dominic Cruz got
oh
hurt.
man.
He tore his shoulder up or something. Dominic, like he was scheduled. I mean, he was scheduled to have that fight with Dominic Cruz, and if he would have beat Cruz, he would have been looking at a title shot. And now he's on a rough three, like he's lost his last three. But look who he's lost to. He's lost to Peter Yan, who I think he's going to be a future champion. He's lost to Aljamain Sterling, which Aljamain Sterling is probably the rightful number one contender at bantamweight right now. And then before that, he lost to Marlon Moraes, which
Yeah.
it was crazy to see. I mean, we've seen Jimmy Rivera get hurt in fights and dropped in fights and wobbled in fights, but up in New York, I think it was Attica, I think. But yeah, Marlon Moraes hit him with a switch kick to the dome and finished him in like 30 seconds. And
Yeah.
that was only Rivera's second loss, and his first loss was by split decision. And that was only his second career loss, and people were already writing him off when he lost to Marlon. And it was like apparently they were like scheduled to fight each other before in another promotion or something. And the same thing with Aljamain Sterling. It seems like Jimmy Rivera has heat with everybody he fights. Like it was a big rivalry between him and Marlon Moraes, and Jimmy Rivera accused Marlon Moraes' manager Ali Abdelaziz
Oh
of
yeah.
shouting profanities at his wife or something like that. And so there was a kind of a heated build up to that fight. And then Aljamain Sterling and him, apparently there was something between them because them two were like the number one prospects in their previous organization, and Aljamain got to the UFC first and instead of fighting Jimmy Rivera. And so there was like some bad blood there, and Aljamain beat Jimmy Rivera by decision. And then Peter Yan. The dude is not losing to scrubs. I mean, he's losing to world class fighters, but this is a big fight for him, man. He can't lose. He can't lose four in a row, and Chito Vera is bringing in some momentum with him.
Now, Donnie, let me play this for everybody. This was a while ago here on Pure EVil MMA. I'm gonna put this audio up. It's him talking about T.J. Dillashaw and Cody No Love. Let me play this for everybody.
I think they picked them, and I understand because it's a business at the end of the day. They got to make money. They have a lot of history. There's a lot of drama between the two. You know what I mean? You have TJ who left the camp. You have Cody who still stayed, was alpha male, and there's a lot of drama between the two, and they're gonna try to hype it up. You're only gonna see what's gonna happen. You know, you're true when you got a camera on you 24/7. Your true colors come out. You know how you really are. You saw how Conor was. You saw how Ronda was. You saw how Miesha Tate was. You saw how all these guys were favored. You really see how their persona comes out. Yeah. And you really see how they really act. So you're gonna see how they really act. You're gonna get to see TJ and Cody how they really are as a person, not just doing a podcast, not just doing an interview. Just like me, people always saying, so everybody's come up to me like, I like this new you. I'm like, listen, man, I've always been a humble and very respectful fighter, but that doesn't get you the fight you want. You have to talk. You have to make some noise. You know what I mean? So with that said, now I'm at this point where it's like I'm done, being humble and done, biting my tongue. Fuck that. I want to fight the best people out there. I want to go fight Cruz, go beat him, retire him like I did Faber, and move on to the next best thing.
What do you think about that, dude? That was an interview we did about 2 years ago. That's a fight I still want to see. Jamie Rivera versus Dominic Cruz, no matter what, even if he loses this next fight, I want to see that. And for Dominic Cruz, what's the latest fight news with him? Like, I haven't heard much about him. I know that
Yeah, I know.
He's got
Yeah,
the
I
commentary
hasn't.
thing, but
I mean, the only person calling him out these days has been Henry Cejudo, but I mean, Henry Cejudo is
hey,
kind of Henry Cejudo is kind of called out every big name, but
he's calling out females, bro. He's calling out
I know,
Valentina.
I know, man, it's crazy. It's so cringe, man. Oh my god, he's such a
I
good
hope
fighter.
that Jimmy has a good 2020, man. He's a good people, training over at one of the best gyms over with Shane Burgos. And also, I'm going to be
For
traveling
sure.
to New York. I got a message from Jared Flash Gordon a couple of days ago saying that he was down in Florida, actually. I don't
Yeah,
know when the last time you talked to him
that's where
was.
his fiance lives. His fiance has like his fiance was on like the Ninja Warriors. She
Oh,
was on that. She
on
was on that
NBC.
twice. Yeah, she was on that twice. American Ninja Warrior. She was on it twice, and now she's opened up her own like facility, like training
Really?
type facility,
His
like with the
girlfriend's
opposite.
really close with Caitlin Chukagian as well. They're like best friends.
Yeah, and yeah, she seems very nice, but yeah, he goes down there. I mean, that's where his fiance lives, and that's where she has her facility where she it's like a it's like a I mean, it's like for America, like the Ninja Warrior people, like creating ninjas. I don't know, like
Donnie, I'm
it's cool.
looking at his Facebook, or I mean, not his Facebook, his Twitter, and he retweeted you when you listed your favorite fighters per weight class. For heavyweight, you listed DC, light heavyweight, Anthony Smith,
Yeah,
middleweight, Gerald Harris, welterweight, Wonder
yep.
Boy, lightweight, Jared Gordon,
Soon to be my favorite featherweight.
featherweight, Bless, Max Holloway, bantamweight, Peter Yan, flyweight women, or no, flyweight women, Joey B. No, flyweight, Joey B, who has an upcoming fight as well. Again, who's Joey fighting? He's got an
He's
upcoming
fighting.
fight.
He's fighting Davis and Figueiredo for the vacant 125-pound championship down in where I live, my hometown city, Norfolk.
Oh,
I
wait,
live.
they're going to you?
Yeah, February.
They need a little
UFC.
Donnie in their life, huh?
Yeah, UFC Norfolk. The last time they were here, they're on my old college campus. It's called the Ted Constant Center. They call it something else now, like Chartway Arena or some shit. But whoever pays them to have that name on there. But it's on my old college campus at Old
When is
Dominion
the
University.
fight? When's the event?
February 28th or fuck. Let
I'm
me
gonna try
look.
to get you in there for a
It's
press
in.
conference or something, or at least set up interviews for you. I mean, Donnie,
Yeah.
is that something that you want to do? Do you want to interview fighters? Like, what do you for 2020? What do you see ahead of you as a journalist or a media member, or like what do you see? Do you want to do predictions? Do you want to do betting, writing?
All of
What
it.
do you want to do in 2020 here?
All of it. All of it.
I
All of it.
want it, whatever interests you, right?
Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah. February 29th.
For anyone
Tickets
out
go on
there
sale.
that's what's
Tickets
that?
go on sale Friday.
Have you okay? If I could give one recommendation for anyone out there that hasn't been to an MMA event, do not aim to get front row seats. You're not going to see much. Get the cheaper seats where you can sit up above, where you can see over the cage. I guarantee you're going to have a better time. You're going to be able to see the fights much better than you would be.
Never
Like when
been
I
to.
sit on press row, it's so hard. I'm mostly out of my seat trying to see what's going on in the cage. Cause
I've never been to a UFC event.
whoa, really?
The last time they were here, I was in Vegas, and it was the first time they were here, and it
Of
was
of all places to be,
of all
you
places.
leave.
Exactly. I'm closer. I'm freaking at the
That's
headquarters, and they're
great.
here.
I
Yep.
leave my hometown to go to Vegas where the UFC is. They go to my That's a Seinfeld joke, bro. Come on.
I
That's
know it's crazy,
crazy.
man. It was a bloody fight between Dustin Poirier and Anthony Pettis,
Now,
and
really quick. Oh, whoa! You missed that fight.
I didn't miss it. I watched it, but yeah, that was when they were here,
Well,
and
I
then
think.
the elbow from hell from Matt Brown onto
Oh
Diego
God,
Sanchez.
what
Yeah.
a fight to miss too. But you know what,
Dude,
Donnie? It's better to
got the
sit at
biggest.
home and watch.
Guess who got the biggest crowd pop though?
Who?
Fucking Clay Guida. Like it was looking like he might be cut from the UFC, or he was on the last fight of his deal, and he ended up winning in at UFC Norfolk, and like the crowd, like he's like, if you want me to stay in the UFC, cheer, and like the crowd went
Of
crazy, man.
course, of course.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
You're
And
not
he
an
had
MMA
obviously,
fan if you haven't been following Clay Guida since back when. You know what I mean?
yeah, man.
Come on,
Yeah.
one of the
I mean,
best.
dude, him and Diego Sanchez when they fought, that was like one of the craziest fights I've ever seen, man.
I that was a fight I didn't want to see just because I loved them both, and it was just like they're
Yeah.
two guys that are just everyone's
Yeah.
got to
Now,
love.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now Diego.
Anyone
Yeah.
loves. When
And
he
now
did what he
Diego
did,
Sanchez. Now Diego Sanchez is fucking being trained by like some witchcraft guy or some shit that
I had
helps
a
him
hard
harness.
time listening to Diego's interviews and what he had to say about him training, where
Dude, in
he
his last
was
fight against
blacking
Chiesa,
out during training. Like that was
yeah, it's crazy, man. Did you see his
scary.
last fight against his last fight against Chiesa? Like he only had one guy in his corner, and it was like some dude, it was
When you
crazy.
say
Like,
witchcraft guy, that's something I'm not familiar with. What are you talking about there?
dude, it was like some guy who like has never cornered a fighter before ever.
I remember that,
And
but why do you say witchcraft guy?
I don't want to. I don't mean not necessarily witchcraft, but like this harnessing the energy. His last fight against Michael Chiesa, it was the first time in a long time. I think he moved to Alliance for a short period of time, but for the longest time he was with Jackson Wink. And when that like controversy went down between Cowboy and Jackson Wink, when they were gonna let Mike Perry train there, and Cowboy didn't think it was right that Mike Perry was able to train there, and then
That
Mike
was
Perry ends up
rough.
leaving anyway. Yeah, Diego was like one of the people that they cited as like like someone who like was selfless and would help everybody with their fights coming up and all this, and then now I guess Diego Sanchez has had a falling out with Jackson Wink as well.
Yeah,
Like a lot
a
of
lot of
people
drama over
don't.
there.
Yeah, like Greg Jackson, like he's like the mastermind, I guess, and I guess people treat it more like like Winklejohn is like just the business guy, and all he cares about is money, and like
You know, that's
I don't
another
know,
story
I don't.
this year that people forgot about. You know that what the Mike Perry or what was it? The Cowboy or what was it?
Yeah,
There were two
it
fighters
was
fighting.
Cowboy Cerrone and Mike Perry. Mike Perry had went there
That's
to
it. That
work.
was it.
Yeah, had went there to work, and then them two were scheduled to fight each other, and even Cowboy even went on the Joe Rogan podcast and talked about it. Like he's like saying that like Mike Winklejohn will let bums just come in off the street and fight in
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Yes. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
like all you have to do is pay a fee, and you can literally like train with John Jones or be brushing shoulders with Holly
Oh,
Holm on
and
the
you know
same
what?
mat.
It's true though. It's true because I've bared witness to this with fighters within the podcasting community that have done interviews. The MMA hosts, I'm just throwing them under the bus. MMA hosts did an interview with a guy that they met at the Mayweather versus McGregor press conference, which I was at too, and they brought this guy on, and he was there training with John Bones, and they were doing this kid did an interview while he was at the gym, and John Bones was there, and while the kid was doing the interview, the kid gives the phone to John, and my friends over at the MMA holes, they tell him to give the phone to John. John picks up the phone, and they say, yeah, well, you know what? We got a lot of people here that are rooting for DC. What do you got to say against that? And Jones gets all pissed off, gives the phone back. I could understand the frustration of the
Yeah,
fighters that are there and being with the championship mentality, training with other champions like,
yeah,
Diego Sanchez or Cowboy or even those guys aren't champions or Holly Holm or, you know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on with the legends that have been there to see this goofball come off the streets and his
yeah.
mom and dad have money and what the fuck's going on here?
And the
What are
thing
you
is, like,
doing?
and just think of this, like, I think John Jones maybe he might have brought this up before, or someone might have brought this up. Like, think of this, like, think of trying to get like think of getting a cheap shot in on John Jones. Like, that's why John Jones has to be very careful, like, who he spars with, because like you have to trust your sparring partner that they're not going to like what T.J. Dillashaw would do in the past, from what what people would say. Um,
God.
like knee guys in the head when you're just wrestling and shit like that. And like,
Yeah, who was that? That was the winner of that season of Ultimate Fighter
yeah,
too.
Chris. Oh well, man, I know I can never think of someone's name when I want to, but yeah, yeah. But the thing is like think about this, like being the guy who gets to go in and spar with John Jones, and when he's not looking, catch him with a shot behind the ear and knock him out, or something, and you're now the guy who's knocked out John Jones, like, and he says that people have tried to do that to him, and now he's like, the only thing, like, instead of beating the shit out of him, he just tells him to get out of the cage and he won't spar with him anymore. But
his name, not Hensworth. I can think of his name.
can never think of shit.
Chris
Can never
Hensworth.
think of
What's his name?
it's something like that. It's Chris something Gold. No,
Holdsworth.
Chris Holdsworth. There you go. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, like he's done from fighting because of a concussion.
Oh, who's trying to go with the girl that was on the same season? Oh my god, girlfriend. He wanted to fight Ronda Rousey after.
Right. You should say it.
She was on the same season.
I don't. Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Misha Tate probably popped in because she lived in Vegas at the time, but that's the only one I know that just had a baby not like too long ago. But
Which that was also.
yeah, I know. Like she.
The guy from Ultimate Fighter season 22.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. She dated Brian Caraway.
Right. It was first Tate of her name.
She dated Brian Caraway for the longest time, and then I think she cheated on Caraway with the guy that she had a baby with.
Yeah, which is messed up.
And Brian Caraway paid her back, though. He fucking released all those nude photos of Misha Tate.
Hey, yeah, hell yeah. What
crazy.
season was that? Oh, Team Rousey, Tate. I gotta find. It's gonna bother me if I don't find the name. Cast. Ultimate Fighter Team Rousey versus that guy. He came back recently.
Yeah.
Lost his fight though. All right, let me go down here. Jasmine Duke was on there. Davey Grant, Peggy Morgan, Roxanne Modafferi, Raquel Pennington, Josh Hill, Shayna Baszler, Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena.
Oh yeah.
He was
yeah.
trying to hook up with Juliana. She wrote him that little note and everything.
I was gonna say I can promise you it's not Raquel Pennington.
Or
She
not
did
Sarah
have-
Morass. Yeah. Or Cody Bollinger was on that season. That was a good season, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't even believe I couldn't think of Juliana.
It's hard, man.
Juliana
We got
Pena.
so much in our minds being MMA fans. There's so much.
She was out. She was out for so long after having the baby, and then I think she does like the commentary for Combates Americas or whatever.
You know what, man? It's just so crazy seeing, doing all of these recap shows over the years. You have them fresh in your mind, and then a year or two goes by and you forget them for a minute. It's like you have so much stored in your head. It's an overload.
The thing is, people might not realize me and you're doing we're like acapella in this shit right now. We're just going like kind of off the top of our heads a little bit.
That's the best way to do it. That's what Rogan does.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I almost feel like I'm just having a personal conversation with you, but
that's the
you know what I'm
best
saying?
way.
Like we're just talking.
You got people on their way to work right now, on the train, in their car, listening to us at the gym.
That's how you get like organic material, like just flowing, But it's not like we're not like reading from a piece of paper.
Which
like,
I hate.
notes.
You can tell when somebody's doing that. You can tell when somebody's faking a laugh. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's hard when you do it with like a bunch of people though. It could be a little difficult because you like hold back. You don't know if it's your turn. Like that's just a little difficult. I like when it's one or two people.
Trust me. I had that issue with you. I was like I would throw my throw my phone across the room just listening to the first podcast with you because I'm like fucking talking over you every 5 seconds. And
you're new to the game. You're new to the game. I've been doing this since I was 7 years old.
Yeah, I think this is like my fourth podcast total.
And Donnie, you're doing. I said it last time. This is your best podcast yet, and you know what? It tops it all. Best audio that you've had yet, too.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even tell you how many hours I spent trying to edit the audio that we did on that last podcast to get it where it was at. There was so much radio feedback. And It was hard to even get the radio feedback to go away, but we got it all figured out here. But let's end it with this. Donnie, in 2019, we had 23 fight nights, 12 pay-per-view events, 7 UFC, ESPN events. What was the one event that stands out to you? Because for me, it's got to be, and I believe a lot of people would agree with me, if it's not Colby Covington versus Usman, the number one is Diaz versus Masvidal. What's yours?
UFC 2. Well, I was just saying that UFC 244.
At the beginning of the year, you would say, I'm most excited to see what fight. I would say DC versus Stipe rematch, right?
Yeah. Or let's see. I think we were teased with something with John Jones, but yeah. I think at the beginning of the year there was still questions on whether DC was going to fight Brock Lesnar or not.
We thought he was going to retire. DC still isn't retired. We thought he was going to retire at the end of 2000. We're 2020 now.
No, he gave a hard deadline of March.
His birthday. Yeah, his birthday.
March. Yeah, he gave a hard deadline of March 2019, and had that Stipe fight gone according to plan, which it was going according to plan the first 3 rounds until Stipe adjusted in the 4th round and started going to the body. But had that fight played out like DC wanted,
he would have left, right?
Yeah, he would have retired. And just think of like that was a big loss for. I mean, it's going to end up being a big financial gain for DC, but as far as legacy, this is a legacy fight for sure. The trilogy is a legacy fight for DC for sure.
Now, speaking about DC, I got to talk about John Jones, Israel Adesanya. Do we see that fight in 2020?
No. I think we see it in 2021, if we see it at all.
It's hard to say, right? It's really hard to say.
It's gonna take Izzy some time to bulk up. So
he said the same thing too. He said, I'm putting the seeds out there, planting them in people's heads. I'm gonna let them grow.
Yeah, he said something like he sees it happening in 2021 at Raider Stadium or some shit. But
last thing, Donnie, before we go, knockout of the year goes to who?
Oh, the easy choice is of course Masvidal over Askren.
Usman, right? Masvidal versus Usman?
No, Masvidal over Askren.
That's what I meant. Masvidal versus Ben Askren.
But a couple honorable mentions. Kevin Lee killing Gregor Gillespie. That was a crazy knockout.
Oh, that was hard to watch. Gregor was such a build.
That was brutal. Because
everyone loves him.
Yeah, the thing is that Gregor Gillespie was at like a 5.5 inch reach disadvantage, and so he kept he was instead of closing the distance with his feet, he kept overextending, and every time he would overextend, that kick was getting closer and closer. And people think that this was a culmination of Kevin Lee going to TriStar. No, actually, if you go back and watch some of Kevin Lee's fights, that's like one of his go-to combinations to throw. Now, the longer he's at TriStar, then we might start seeing him develop more to his game and his fight IQ. But that to me didn't have anything to do with being at TriStar. It usually takes a couple camps. But another honorable mention for knockout of the year was Valentina's head kick KO of Jessica Ai. That was pretty crazy.
What about Amanda Nunes knocking out Holly Holm back in July? No one's mentioned that. No one's mentioned that fight.
With Holly Holm's own technique.
How crazy is that? Have you heard anyone talk about that, Donnie? Anyone?
No, not since it happened, no.
You want to hear my reaction to it? We did a fight companion, and me, Damian, and Chicky. Here's our reaction to that. Same night.
Nice one, Lanford. Amanda Nunes head kicks Holly Holm. She goes to the canvas
and hits her with punches.
And the ref stops the fight.
That was such a good night because right before that, we saw Ben Askren get knocked out, and here's our reaction to that.
Talking shit to Ben Askren across the cage, and now they're ready to go.
Oh my God! They got right at it. It's over. He's
Dude, you don't know how.
The quickest knockout in history. Look at him. Holy
Dude, we're flipping the fuck out.
You do not know how amazing it is hearing that, because every time I watch that KO, like
Brings it back to life.
But John Anik, man, his call like just keeps playing through my head. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see. Like every time, like I have to watch it, I have to hear John Anik say it, and it just drives you nuts after a while. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see.
Wait, hold on. One more time, Donnie. One more time.
One of the greatest knockouts.
From across the cage, and now they're ready to go. You know?
Oh my God! They get right at it. It's over. He knocks him out within 1 second.
That was the quickest
Knockout in history. Look at him.
Look at him.
And it was actually more like 2.5, 3 seconds instead of the 5 seconds. It just took
Because the ref.
It took Jason Herzog a little bit of time to get there. But,
Bro, we had 4,000 people watching live. One more time, Amanda Nunes knocking out Holly Holm.
It's over. Nunes knocks Holly Holm out. Holy
She did it. Holly Holm. Amanda Nunes head kicks Holly Holm. She goes to the canvas
and hits her with punches.
And the ref stops the fight.
Come on, man. That's got to be the best fight night of 2019. Come on.
Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm. Like Holly Holm, she kept doing that
UFC 239.
The thing is, she was actually doing pretty well in the fight. Like she landed a nice right hand that seemed to kind of wobble Amanda Nunes a little bit. She got caught. Like she kept lifting up her front leg, and as soon as she lifted up her front leg again, almost like she was gonna throw one of those like side kicks to the hip. As soon as she lifted up that front leg, Amanda Nunes timed it and boom.
KO round 1.
Holly Holm was actually looking decent. Like Amanda Nunes tried to take her down, and Holly Holm got a wizard and immediately got back to her feet. She landed a good shot of herself on Amanda Nunes. But
let's look what else was on that card. Was Juan Blachowicz beating Luke Rockhold, Diego Sanchez losing to Michael, Francis Ngannou versus Junior Dos Santos was supposed to be on the card. It got canceled. In the main event, John Jones versus Thiago Santos. The first time John Jones came to a split decision.
Yeah. A lot of people think that Thiago Santos. A lot of people think Thiago Santos won that fight, and I think the fact it was. I don't think so. I thought it was 3 rounds to 2, John Jones. But I'm just saying, some people think that John Jones lost that fight. But I mean, it was a great performance by Pineda. It was
getting knocked out. Holly Holm getting knocked out.
But the thing is, yeah, exactly. And then you go to John Jones. It was kind of lackluster compared to the rest of the fights, But I don't know. I guess you could, we come to find out that Maheda had not 1 torn ACL, but 2.
Man.
You would kind of expect more from John Jones. But so Thiago Santos, I mean, that's another example of a guy like Colby Covington fighting with a broken jaw against Usman. I mean, look what Thiago Santos did against John Jones, and I mean, he did well against him.
Now let's end the show on this fighter of the decade, male and female. Who do you got? Because I've seen a lot of people go for Amanda Nunes for female, and I feel like Ronda Rousey was left out. I think Ronda Rousey had such an impact on the sport in this last decade. I mean, she introduced the female fighting for the UFC. Conor McGregor has to take the male spot. Who do you go with?
I guess if you're going, it's just. I guess it's such a subjective criteria, because the thing is like.
What are you looking at, right? What are you looking at?
It's just, what is your criteria? Changing the game, things like that. Then, Conor McGregor will be up there. If you're looking at consistency, wins and losses.
Dominance,
dominance, then you would go with John Jones. So it just depends on what you're looking at. Ronda Rousey, the thing is that people give her so much shit, and I have too. But the thing is that Like
She only lost 2 fights?
She lost 2 fights, and the thing is, that last fight, I don't even count it.
And
I
she
thought
would
that
still come back and whip every girl in every division except for the top 2? Come on.
But I just think, to be honest with you, like, her coming back against Amanda Nunes was like the dumbest fucking
Worst
fight to
idea.
ever set up in. I mean, that was so fucking dumb, to be honest with you. But the thing is
I
that
wouldn't see that in boxing. Never.
oh hell no. But here's something else that people don't really mention. But Ronda Rousey kicked down the door for women to get into the UFC. Now, eventually, it would have happened. But she obviously kicked down the door for women to get into the UFC.
Gina Carano was right there, and then
yeah,
it was
could have
Ronda
been, it could
that
have
did
been her back in the day. Yeah,
If
for
it
sure.
wasn't for Chris Cyborg taking that away.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think Gina Carano actually came out and said that there was $1 million offer for her to fight Ronda Rousey.
Oh, dude, have you seen her in The Mandalorian on Disney Plus?
I saw you post about it. I need to watch that.
Oh my god, man, I died. Bill Burr's in it. Bill Burr has the best episode on The Mandalorian as a cameo. I was blown away by Gina Carano in this. I'll give you my Disney Plus sign-in if you want to watch it tonight, Donnie.
Fuck yeah, I'll watch it. But dude, the thing is that what I was gonna say about Ronda Rousey is that, yeah, like people hate on her because of the way I think it's a lot of it is the way she handled the losses.
Yeah,
like
it was that season of Ultimate Fighter that a lot of people.
That too, and then when she beat Misha Tate, Misha Tate extended her hand and she didn't shake her hand,
kicked it away.
And then also she got in Holly Holm's face at the stare downs, and then she refused to shake Holly Holm's hand or touch gloves before
After
the fight
climbing the rock wall as well. She flicks her off on the season of Ultimate Fighter.
But the thing is that I think another thing that Ronda Rousey did that people don't realize is that she elevated the other women. Like, the other women weren't as skilled when Ronda Rousey was. I mean, look at
she set the bar.
Amanda Nunes had 4 losses. I mean, she got finished. Amanda Nunes got finished in the UFC. I mean, she almost got finished a second time by Valentina. If that first Valentina fight would have been 5 rounds, Valentina would have finished her. But I think that I think Ronda Rousey forced the other women to get better, and to up their game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that she kind of started the evolution of, because now, I mean, I know we talk shit about the UFC pay and things like that, but MMA in general is the one place that women can go and make equivalent money to men.
Now, let me replace...
In other sports like the WNBA, they don't make shit compared to NBA players.
They don't even get respect. No.
Yeah, the only women outside of the UFC or MMA in general that make money, good money, and is a soccer player.
Tennis?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Tennis players. I mean, they make millions of dollars.
I don't even know how much tennis players make, but they're recognizable.
They make a lot.
Names.
They make a lot. I mean,
off endorsements.
Yeah.
Sure.
Serena Williams and what's her name? That
Vanessa, right? Williams?
No. What the hell?
Anna Kournikova.
Yeah, oh my God, she was so hot.
Flashback 2006.
But Maria Sharapova. Maria Sharapova was on the list for top, highest female.
Dude, I had a picture of Michelle Waterson and Anna Kournikova in my room as a kid growing up because I saw Michelle Waterson on Bully Beatdown, so I printed out a picture at school, posted on the wall, and got a little frame for it. But then I had this big Anna Kournikova poster I got from Walmart. Man, those are my girls right there.
Dude, she was so fucking hot.
Now,
man.
here is a short clip of Dennis Hallman, who's infamous for wearing a thong inside the octagon, where Dana White flipped out afterwards. But this is him talking about his experience on that season of Ultimate Fighter, where he got into a fight with Edmond Taverdian and Ronda Rousey. This is a one of 2-part clips. Here we go.
AKA Count Chocula.
Yeah, that guy was real weird. So he I came there and Brian Caraway is a good friend of mine. And they told me that the guy that before I got there, he was trying to pick a fight with Brian. Well, I show up there and the guy kept looking at me like I don't know, like I was dating his mom. And of course he's looking at me. I'm like, hey, stare hard, retard. Like, what did you say? Started. and then I think they caught a little glimpse of it, but he's he's the guy that I call like a background tough guy. He's like the guy at the bar that will be, if you bump into him and he starts screaming real loud, "Come on, why'd you bump into me?" So everybody hears him, so he doesn't get beat up. That's kind of how that Edmund guy is. He's loud and he wants to be, make sure everybody notices him so he doesn't get his ass kicked in private.
The whole thing with you and
All right, hold on. Part 2. Ready?
Make sure everybody notices him so he doesn't get his ass kicked in private. So I told him, he was talking about how he was going to do whatever he was going to do. And so I didn't think that, to this day, I know we wouldn't have got in trouble if we would have went in there and I would have beat his ass in the cage. No one would have said anything. We're two grown men. We get in the cage and whether it's, during a live bout or not, no one's going to get in trouble.
Right.
Grumpy little Rhonda, she, wanted to make her little show of it, whatever.
Grumpy little Rhonda.
But,
right, she kind of white-lighted in there. She got in your face and yeah, she just, I don't know. I wasn't impressed with that. You know what I mean? But it was totally her persona.
That guy let a girl talk for him. The guy let a girl talk for him. What kind of panty waste does that? Right. Oh, I'm going to let my girl coach go and stand in my way. You want to know if Misha ever tried to do that to me? I'd be like, Misha, you better sit down.
Misha, you better sit down. If Misha ever did that to me, I'd say, Misha, you better go sit down. What kind of guy is this? He lets a girl talk for him? Because if you guys remember, Rhonda got into Dennis's face, and that's what we're asking Dennis right there, what that situation was like, which is one of my favorite moments on The Ultimate Fighter, and we're going to be doing a write-up on the best moments of Ultimate Fighter history in the last decade at PureEvilMMA.com, which I've been writing for the last 2 days here, working pretty hard on it, Donnie. I got a couple thousand words in on it. I'm trying to really make it a timeless piece where it's going to last for the next 10 years where people will click and read it. But
I don't know if UFC has sold it yet, but I know they put the Tough Mansion up for sale.
I saw that. Yeah.
Thing is like now that they have this like UFC Apex where they have multiple locker rooms and stuff like that, and like on the opposite sides, and I know they're still building onto that Apex. I wonder. I hope they bring it. I hope they bring Tough back, man. I really do.
The thing is, it got overplayed. People lost interest, and
Yeah, but I felt like I was like one of the only people still watching. But I
the diehards, right? The diehards. But it was good for people who don't watch the fights. People who don't tune in for the events, they liked that, Which reminds me, Donnie, this is the last thing I want to talk about. We got 3 minutes left before we end this stream. I do want to talk about this last thing while we're talking about that. It's, Bellator, man. They did really awful this year for their ratings. Yeah. We've seen it drop dramatically. I believe I sent it to our Discord.
Yeah, they've signed, some big fighters. I mean, like Cyborg, but I think a lot of it has to do with their fucking, or not a lot of it, but I think some of it has to do with them.
How little they do events?
But the stupid fucking,
not promoting them? Or not knowing where to tune in? Which one?
I think, some of these fucking stupid ass, to me, like Rampage versus Fedor was kind of stupid. It was like 15 years too late. So like these I'm not gonna. I mean, I know these like sideshow type fights. Like I don't know, but the thing is like to me, like having it like come on a Friday and you can't watch it in the U.S. until Saturday. Like the pre-recorded shit
sucks all the life out of it.
Yeah, they have like several of those, like to where it's not live at all. And
so Donnie,
you can't watch it.
Bellator 237, Fedor versus Rampage, 311K viewers, all 2019 number events. Ready? Bellator 235, 228K. Bellator 233, 314. Bellator 231, 265. You know what? This year, this is from JD Goodman. He posted it. This has dropped like 30% every year. Of the viewing has dropped like 10 to 30% year after year, which doesn't show a good sign.
Another thing that has to do with that is also behind a paywall now, like the DAZN deal. Like when it started out, like ESPN Plus is only like $4.99 a month. I think DAZN is like $20 a month or some shit. And the thing is that DAZN doesn't even have, like, you're paying $20 a month, but on ESPN Plus, for the most part, you're getting events almost every week.
And then you got the people doing the Fight Pass where you get other events, but how well are your events going to be doing? Like, there's CES on there. I love CES.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand you buying it for a month or whatever, but it's so expensive to be an MMA fan, and it's just so hard to figure out where things are going
And the
on
thing is,
unless you're a
it's only that,
diehard.
like I said, in like the zone, like it's like $20 a month, and yeah, you do get like Canelo's boxing matches and shit like that. But how often does Canelo box?
Once
like
or twice a year. Yeah.
Exactly. So like you could go a month on this, like you could pay $20 for a month subscription
Or watch
and
the
not,
highlights on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could pay like exactly. But I think it's another thing that has to do with their viewership going down. Is that you can pay $20 for a month and may only get one event. Like at least on ESPN Plus, you can watch other things, and they usually have at least one event. I mean, it's not. This is kind of like.
Why didn't ESPN buy out Fight Pass too? Like, why not buy the whole library? Like, that would be so worth it. That would be so worth it.
I'm not sure if ESPN, I'm not sure if the UFC would allow that. Like, I'm not sure if they were
weird though,
willing to
right?
that.
Because remember how much the UFC got behind?
Because what if they go with another? What if they end up with another network after 7 years, and now someone owns the rights to your fight library? Yeah, like I mean, to be honest with you, when they bought Pride, that's pretty much what they got out of the deal. They basically bought a fight library.
Oh my god, that was all of it was just such a mess. All of it.
Yeah, I mean, when they bought Pride, that's pretty much what they got. To be honest with you, they
spent what $20 million or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Pride was going out of business anyway.
And most of the events weren't recorded or something. Like I forgot what it was, but it was a mess.
Yeah, but pretty much what they got out of that deal, which I've already said obviously, but what they got out of that deal was their fight library. Like,
yeah,
them acquiring the WEC was huge. I mean, you got so many great fighters and weight classes, put in, and obviously buying Strike Force. You got so many great fighters like DC and Luke Rockhold for a time, and I mean some really good fighters out of Strike Force. Overeem, Dan Henderson. I mean some legendary fighters. But
now,
Pride, most guys fizzled out. I mean, look at Mirko Krokop. I mean, Mirko Krokop was fucking. I think he was like on a 10-fight winning streak when he ended his career. But in the UFC, like it almost gives credence to what someone said about fake fights in Japan, because when he comes to the UFC, he gets fucking. I mean, he got knocked out by Brendan Schaub. Krokop knocked out by Brendan Schaub. I mean, the first fight he was a huge against Gabriel Gonzaga. He was a huge favorite against Gabriel Gonzaga, and Gabriel Gonzaga, Krokop kicked him in his head. I mean, Krokop did
unforgettable. Didn't Brendan Schaub fight Gabriel too? He fought Gabriel.
Yeah, he got beat by Gabriel Gonzaga.
He also fought the hardest hitting puncher in UFC history, who just fought my co-host McSweeney and got a victory over him as well. I mean, people give Brandon a hard time, but these are heavyweights, man. I mean,
yeah, he lost to I think Brendan Schaub. Man, that was like one of the most unforgettable fucking Joe Rogan podcasts, or one of the most unforgettable podcasts I've ever seen. When he like
broke him down.
Brendan was
coming. You'd be surprised about him, beating Cain Velasquez.
Yeah,
no,
because he was like,
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, because he was like, because Brendan Schaub was coming off the knockout loss to Travis Brown, where he got caught with the uppercut, and he was saying that Mario Yamasaki shouldn't have stopped the fight, that he was protecting himself on the ground, and he's like, he had to stop the fight, right? And then Joe Rogan was like, okay, how about this? In a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how do you think you do in a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez?
I think you'd be surprised.
And Brendan Schaub says, I think you'd be surprised. And Joe Rogan said, I think you'd be surprised. I think he'd fuck you up.
Yeah. Brandon, it was hard to watch though.
Dude,
if you watched that, it was like, damn, Joe's being a
uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable, but.
Would you ever be able to do that to a fighter, Donnie?
I think he just really cared about him.
But it's the truth, and that's what people need to hear is the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have had this, because obviously that was.
But wouldn't you rather build his confidence up than crash it down at the same time? Like, there's two ways to go about it. I think that was the better way to go about it, but the wrong way to go about it in more ways.
Yeah. But the thing is that I think Brendan Schaub's career after fighting, like Joe Rogan, I think Joe Rogan has set him up pretty nice.
Well,
like,
you know what, Donnie? I'm glad that you said that, because you know what tomorrow night's show is for the reaction? I'm reacting to that documentary that somebody made on Brendan Schaub. We're going to be watching that, and I'm going to be reacting to some of the comments that they made through it. So I don't know if you're going to be free, but I got it all set up and ready to go to some of the points that they made during the documentary. We did a reaction show for Bully Beatdown, but this upcoming 2020, I want to do more reaction videos. I want to start off with this because I kind of want to defend Brendan Schaub here. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are such trolls. They take every little thing and just throw it at you instead of looking at it from that person's perspective, which I want to bash back at.
He does say some. I think the MMA fans hate him now because he
ruined our free streaming.
The streams, exactly. Exactly.
Reddit fucking free streams. Come on.
But I don't know. Like
we got plenty of streams, Donnie. Don't lie. We got plenty of streams, bro.
No, but like
how many do I got in our Discord? I got 4 backups for us. Come on.
Right. But I think when he's like on Joe Rogan's podcast, like he'll say, "Yeah, fuck that guy," and Joe Rogan will say, "No, he's cool." And Joe Rogan say, and then
Brendan will be like, "Yeah, no, he's cool."
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I'm all over that dick. Yeah, like
everyone does
that.
it to Joe though. It's not just Brendan. Everyone does it. You know what I mean? If it was Joe Rogan that dosed the machine, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal because it was Joe Rogan doing it. But since it was Ari, did you get in on all that drama? Or Shafir putting Molly in whatchamacallit's drink or whatever in his shot glass?
Yeah. Oh god,
crazy. But
that's probably gonna happen to Cowboy before the Conor fight. Like
Nick Diaz claimed happened to him.
Yeah, when he fought GSP, someone is gonna poison.
Someone drug my water. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I guarantee Dana White is gonna spike.
I always think about that though. Like all these fighters, they're out. Like they don't know if when Conor was gonna fight RDA, I was afraid that some Mexican was gonna slip something into his drink, or fighting Jose Aldo, someone's gonna slip something into his drink. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit like that happens. People don't realize. But with that being said, Donnie, great show. I think we're on like 3 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is crazy. Man, I just have so much fun doing this. I feel so alive. I hope all of our listeners are enjoying it. We had we had almost 1,000 downloads on our last show that we did together, the very last show. And we got a new sponsor now over at Megaphone. So, Donnie, where can people find you on social media? Give out your tags here.
On Twitter at D as in dog, R as in rocket, O as in octopus, C as in cat, K as in kitten, E as in elephant, T as in Tom, 6969.
And Instagram.
Donny Rockett or at DRockett69.
So, Donnie, before we let you go, the MMA Trivia Challenge we're doing here. Tomorrow we got, what's his name? Jake coming on. He's over in Dublin, Ireland. Then Thursday, we have Darce going up against Rhino. And the winner of that is going to face the winner of tonight's show, which was either Darce or Jake. But then whoever wins that $15 gift card is going to go on to the grand finale, the Bowser Challenge, which is Donny Rockett.
Yeah.
So you claim that you did, how would you got 11 out of 12 on tonight's beginning of the show?
Yeah. I missed the last one, the rapping one. What was the answer to that anyways? It was
Renato Gracie.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that one, but
that was
I still remember most of the answers, like top 21, Cowboy.
Yeah, a lot of them were pretty simple, but it was like I put the multiple choice so close where it'll be like, oh wait, is it that or this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you know the answer in your head, but then you second guess yourself. That's how I set up the answers to be. But
like GSP's last fight against Hendricks, I still remember that. Let's see, I still remember most of the questions, and most of the answers. Like I remember Black Zillions versus American Top Team.
The Usman question.
Yeah, the Black Zillion team, they actually did not want Usman representing them, and
the last season of Ultimate Fighter on Spike TV.
Yeah, that was.
Donnie, I'm gonna leave you with this one then. Who headlined UFC 201? Who headlined UFC 201?
I'm terrible with that.
Hey, Johnny choking. Donnie choking.
do multiple choice.
Yeah, we got to do multiple choice. Well, guys, you got to tune in, check it out, because we got a 3-day event going on here. Tomorrow, we're going to have Jake tune in, and then Donnie is going to take on the winner of the finale, and it's going to be for a $20 gift card. So the winner of the 4-man tournament gets the $15 gift card for Amazon, Google, whatever they want. And then the winner of Donnie and the winner of that gets a $20 gift certificate for whatever they want as well. So, Donnie, I put my money on you, man. I'm putting my money on Donnie. I really
just
am,
go ahead
man.
go ahead and send me the $20 gift card now.
It's gonna be fun. This is fun. It's a great way to start the year.
I want a $20 gift card to
Hooters.
Pure,
to Hooters.
No, even better. The Pure EVil MMA
merchandise store. Oh, fucking yeah.
Fucking hats are
Store
sweet,
envy.
man.
Hell yeah. And you guys can get all that at pureevilmma.com under the top tab under merch store. And everything is actually on discount right now. Minimum prices. Somebody just bought the leggings last night, and dude, I only made $2 off of it. I'm not making money off of it. This is for you guys. I put the prices at a minimum. I made $2 off of like $35 leggings, and it's not for me. It's for you guys. That's what
those leggings are for me. Nah.
Yeah, Donnie. Me and Donnie. You're gonna see me and Donnie at the ski resort skiing down the fucking black triangle on fucking Pure EVil MMA yoga pants. Watch out. All right, that does it for this episode of Pure EVil MMA, episode number 246. I'm Evil Eddie. That's Donny Rockett. Have a great night, and remember, without evil, there's no purity. Wood knuckles to the end. Behave yourself.